Yeah, hello, Blossom Buds. Good evening to you. Welcome back to my comfy, cozy forest where Momo will be reading some more warrior cats into the wild with y'all. Yes, hi, Frank. Good to see you. Thanks so much for stopping on by the stream tonight. Good to see you. And you as well, Titan. I saw you pop in as well. Well, as the stream title shows, we are doing yet another ASMR stream. Momo really has been wanting to continue reading the Warrior Cat series. It's been like well over a month now, I'm pretty sure, since we last had our little book club meeting. So tonight, I think we have maybe about 2, maybe 3 hours or so while Ed is away with work. So I figured Momo would come on here and get some reading done. So I hope y'all are excited for it, because I think we might be able to finish it tonight, because we're on chapter 10. I'm glad that my bookmark last left off on the previous page that we were on, so that was really helpful. Otherwise I was gonna check back on the vlog, but yeah, we're on chapter 10, and I'm pretty sure it goes up to like... Oh shoot, I forgot to turn on the volume, sorry. Hopefully that was not too loud. Sorry. I think we'll have it about like -20. Momo did some testing and I think it should sound pretty good here. Okay. Anyhow. Yeah, there should be 5 more chapters left. I'm not sure how long they are, but we shall see. Yes, hello friend. Oh, thank you so much for the alert. Yes. I saw that you said, I'm good, just tired a bit and I have to go back somewhere before 9 to help load out after a show. Oh, be safe out there. Take care. And like I said, be sure to get lots of sleepy rest afterwards. Hi, Vlog. Thank you for the take a deep breath. Arigato. Also, Titan, no work. That's awesome. Awesome. No work, bring up only couch thing now. Perfect for this ASMR stream, don't you think? Okie dokie now. So, I think you have everything in order. I fixed my desktop audio. We have some different nature ambiance this time compared to the last one. I hope y'all will like it. I really want to get one for like one that has like some water in the background, but since our background does not have a stream, I was like, maybe once Momo finds one with a good water stream, like a river, a little pond, maybe then we'll do that, because one of Momo's favorite ambiance noises is water. We'll have to do one with rain too sometime. Welcome on in to the AM stream, and thank you so much for the packs and the stars. Phone almost dead, so I'll just like you. Okay, no worries at all. Momo totally understands that I was frantically charging my iPad and my iPhone right before stream. Alright. Okay, microphone audio should be perfect. I also adjusted the stream alerts in case we get any follows, any rains, any shubby wubbies. Also, I think we touched on this last stream, right? Yeah, actually no, was that 49 followers away from the big 2K, let's go! Momo's long streaming week is coming up, so we'll be able to stream for lots and do it a lot longer, like our 4 to 5, 6 hour streams. So I think maybe we'll get it this upcoming week. Momo has confidence. Alright, let Momo get adjusted here, and I shall pull up the story. Gotta move chat over this way. Chat's big. Pull up my book real quick. hydrate. Okay. So, Chapter 10. By the following morning, a thin drizzle soaked the treetops and dripped down into the camp. Firepaw woke up feeling damp. It had been an uncomfortable night. He stood up and shook himself vigorously, fluffing out his fur. Then he left the apprentice's den and trotted across the clearing to Yellowfang's nest. Yellowfang was just stirring. She lifted her head and squinted at Firepaw as he approached. Now I gotta remember all the voices I've given these characters. Makirito-ko, arigatou friend, thank you so much. Momo's doing good. Real good. Today was a nice, chill and relaxing day with Ed. We eat in and we made breakfast, we made rice with eggs, and I think it was sausage. Yeah, it was really yummy. Oh, and we've been catching up with Apothecary Diaries. I think we're on, like, episode, of the latest season? I think it's 35? We just finished episode 34. I think we're slowly coming up on the end of the season, so we're really excited to see how it concludes. We've really been enjoying that. And after that, we went and walked Rudy, and just kind of hung out until we had to leave for work, and yeah, here we are together, Blossom Buds. Mom hopes that your day was good too, Frank. Alright, so what voice did I give Yellowfang? My bones ache this morning. Has it been raining all night? Since just after moon high, Firepaw replied. He reached out and prodded her mossy nest. Probably is a little messy. Cautiously. Your bedding is soaking wet. Why don't you move near to the nursery? It's more sheltered there. What? And be kept awake all night by those mewling kids? I'd rather get wet, Yellowfang growled. Firepaw watched her circle stiffly on her mossy bed. Then, at least let me fetch you some dry bedding, he offered, keen to drop the subject of kids if it upset the old she-cat so much. Thank you, Firepaw, replied Yellowfang, quietly, settling down again. Firepaw felt stunned. He wondered if Yellowfang was feeling all right. It was the first time she had thanked him for anything, and the first time she had not called him a kitty pet. Oh, she's warming up to him. Well, don't just stand there like a startled squirrel. Go and fetch some moths, she snapped. Firepaw's whiskers twitched with amusement. This was more like the Yellowfang he was used to. He nodded and sprinted off. He almost crashed into Speckletail in the middle of the clearing. This was the queen who had watched Yellowfang's angry outburst at the tabby kit the day before. Sorry, Speckletail, Firepaw mewed. Are you on your way to see Yellowfang? What would I want to do with that unnatural creature? Replied Speckletail crossly. Actually, it's you I was looking for. Bluestar wants to see you. Firepaw hurried toward the high rock and Bluestar's den. Bluestar was sitting outside, her head bobbing rhythmically as she licked the gray fur below her throat. She paused when she noticed Firepaw. How is Yellowfang today? She meowed. Her bedding is wet, so I was going to fetch her more, Firepaw replied. I'll ask one of the queens to see to that. Bluestar gave her chest a lick, and then eyed Firepaw carefully. Is she fit enough to hunt for herself yet? She asked. I don't think so, Firepaw meowed, but she can walk well enough now. I see, meowed Bluestar. He's not Firestar yet, Bluestar. She looked thoughtful for a moment. It is time for you to return to your training, Firepaw, but you'll need to work hard to make up for the time you have lost. Great. Thank you, Bluestar, Firepaw stammered. I bet he's really happy to get back to that, because he's been looking after Yellowfang for a good while now. We'll go out with Tiger Claw, Grey Paw, and Raven Paw this morning, Bluestar continued.
I've asked Tiger Claw to assess the warrior skills of all of our apprentices. Don't worry about Yellowfang. I'll make sure someone sees to her while you're gone.
Firepaw nodded.
Now, join your companions, Blue Star ordered. I expect they're waiting for you. Thank you, Blue Star, Firepaw mewed. He turned with a flick of his tail and darted toward his den. Blue Star was right. Graypaw and Ravenpaw were both waiting for him by their favorite tree stump. Graypaw looked stiff and uncomfortable, his long fur clumped by the dampness of the air. Ravenpaw was pacing around the tree stump, lost in thought, the white tip of his tail twitching. So you're joining us today, Graypaw called as Firepaw approached. Someday, huh? He shook himself roughly to get rid of the clinging wetness. Oh, I was trying to figure out who was talking. Yes, Blue Star told me that Tiger Claw's going to assess us today. Are Sandpaw and Dustpaw coming too? Whitestorm and Darkstripe took them out on a warrior patrol. I suppose Tiger Claw is going to look at them later, Graypaw answered.
Come on, we should get going, urged Ravenpaw.
He had stopped pacing and now hovered beside them anxiously. Fine by me, mewed Graypaw. Hopefully some exercise will warm me up a bit. The three cats trotted through the gorse track and out of the camp. They hurried to the sandy hollow. Tiger Claw had not arrived, so they hung around in the shelter of the pine tree, their fur fluffed up against the chill. Are you worried about the assessment, Firepaw asked Ravenpaw.
So I'm going to turn down the audio just a little bit, just in case.
Firepaw asked Ravenpaw as the young cat padded backward and forward with quick, nervous steps. There's no need to be. You're Tiger Claw's apprentice, after all. When he reports back to Blue Star, he's going to want to tell her how good you are.
Suki_T, welcome on in for the first time. It's nice to meet ya. I am Momo Sakurai, Cherry Blossom Cat Girl Idol. And today on the cafe menu, for our cafe special, we have a reading in the ASMR style way with Warrior Cats Book 1 Into the Wild. We are on chapter 10 though, so we are quite a ways in. We're about halfway through. But good to see you. Thanks for stopping on in. Hope your day's going well.
You can never tell with Tiger Claw, mewed Ravenpaw, still pacing. For goodness sake, sit down, Graypaw grumbled. At this rate, you'll be worn out before we begin. By the time Tiger Claw arrived, the sky had changed. The clouds looked less like thick gray fur and more like the soft white balls of down that queens used to line the nest of their newborns. Blue skies couldn't be far behind, but the breeze that brought the softer clouds carried a fresh chill. Tiger Claw greeted them briskly and launched straight into the exercise details.
I gotta remember what my Tiger Claw voice was.
Some deep and burly voice. Lionheart and I have spent the last few weeks trying to teach you how to hunt decently, he meowed. Today you'll have a chance to show me how much you've learned. Each of you will take a different route and hunt as much prey as possible, and whatever you catch will be added to the supplies in the camp.
The three apprentices looked at one another, nervous and excited. Firepaw felt his heart begin to beat faster at the prospect of a challenge.
Ravenpaw, you will follow the trail behind the great sycamore as far as the snake rocks. That should be easy enough for your pitiful skills.
Dang, you didn't need to say all that.
You, Graypaw, Tiger Claw continued, will take the route along the stream as far as the thunder path. Great, mewed Graypaw. What paws for me? Tiger Claw's stare silenced him. And finally you, Firepaw. What a shame your great mentor couldn't be here today to witness your performance for herself. You shall take the route through the tall pines, past the tree-cut place, to the woods beyond.
Firepaw nodded,
frantically tracing the route in his head. And remember, Tiger Claw finished, fixing them all with his pale-eyed stare, I shall be watching all of you.
All three of them? But they're all going in different directions.
He just has that many eyes, I guess. Ravenpaw was the first to sprint away toward the snake rocks. Tiger Claw took a different track into the woods, leaving Greypaw and Firepaw alone in the hollow, trying to guess who Tiger Claw would follow first. I don't know why he thinks Snake Rocks is an easy route, mewed Greypaw. The place is crawling with the adders. Birds and mice stay away from there because there are so many snakes. Ravenpaw will have to spend his whole time trying not to get bitten, Firepaw agreed.
He's so mean to have sent Ravenpaw that way. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Oh, he'll be okay, mewed Greypaw. Not even an adder would be fast enough to catch Ravenpaw at the moment. He's so jumpy. I better get going. See you back here later on. Good luck. Greypaw raced off toward the stream. Firepaw paused to sniff the air, then bounded up the side of the hollow and began to head for the tall pines. It felt strange to be going in this direction toward the two-leg place he had been raised in. Cautiously, Firepaw crossed the narrow path into the pine forest. He looked through the straight rows of trees across the flat forest floor, alert for the sight of a scent of prey. A movement caught his eye. It was a mouse, scrambling through the pine needles. Remembering his first lesson, Firepaw dropped into the stalking position, keeping his weight in his haunches, his paws light on the ground. The technique worked perfectly. The mouse didn't detect Firepaw until his final leap. He caught it with one paw and killed it swiftly. Then he buried it, so that he could pick it up on his return journey. Firepaw traveled a little farther into the tall pines. The ground here was deeply rutted by the tracks of the huge two-leg monster that tore down the trees. Firepaw took a deep breath, put his mouth open. The monster's acid breath had not touched the air here for a while. Firepaw followed the deep tracks, jumping across the ruts. They were half filled with rain, which made him feel thirsty. He was tempted to stop and take a few mouthfuls, but he hesitated. One lap of that muddy trench water, and he'd taste the monster's foul-smelling tracks for days.
Ew. No, just wait till the hunt's over.
He decided to wait. Perhaps there would be a rainwater puddle beyond the tall pines. He hurried onward through the trees and crossed the two-leg path on the far boundary. He was back amid the thick undergrowth of oak woods. He moved onward until he found a puddle and lapped up a few mouthfuls of fresh water.
Good. Much better.
Firepaw's fur began to prickle with some extra awareness. He recognized the sounds and scents familiar from his old watching place on the fence post, and knew instantly where he was. These were the woods that bordered the two-leg place. He must be very close to his old home now. Ahead, Firepaw could smell two legs and hear their voices, loud and raucous, like crows. It was a group of young two-legs playing in the woods. Firepaw crouched and peered ahead through the ferns. The sounds were distant enough to be safe. He changed direction, skirting the noises, making sure he was not seen. Firepaw stayed alert and watchful, but not just for two-legs. Tiger Claw might be somewhere nearby. He thought he heard a twig snap in the bushes behind him. He sniffed the air, but smelled nothing new. Was he being watched now? He wondered. Out of the corner of his eye, Firepaw sensed movement. I wonder, maybe Tiger Claw somehow masked his scent so that he would not be picked up on while he's watching them hunt. At first, he thought it was Tiger Claw's dark brown fur, but then he saw a flash of white. He stopped, crouched, and inhaled deeply. The smell was unfamiliar. It was a cat, but not a ThunderClan cat. Firepaw felt his fur bristle with the instincts of a clan warrior. You would have to chase the intruder out of ThunderClan territory. Does he get extra brownie points if Tiger Claw's watching him do this? Firepaw watched the creature moving through the undergrowth. He could see its outline clearly as it skittered between the ferns. Firepaw waited for it to wander nearer. He crouched lower, his tail waving back and forth in a slow rhythm. As the black and white cat neared, Firepaw rocked his haunches from side to side, a little booty wiggle, as he prepared to spring. One more heartbeat, then he leaped. The black and white cat jumped into the air, terrified, and raced away through the trees. Firepaw gave chase. It's a kitty pet, he thought as he raced through the undergrowth, smelling its fierce scent. In my territory. He was closing in rapidly on the fleeing animal. It had slowed its headlong rush, preparing to scramble up the wide, mossy trunk of the fallen tree. With the blood roaring in his ears, Firepaw leaped onto its back in a single bound. I wonder who this is. I almost thought it was Ravenpaw. Maybe it's Smudge. Firepaw could feel the cat struggling beneath him as he gripped on with all his claws. It let out a desperate, terrified yowl. Firepaw released his grip and backed away. The black and white cat cringed at the foot of the fallen tree, trembling and looking up at him. Firepaw lifted his nose, feeling a ripple of disgust at the intruder's easy surrender. This soft, plump house cat, with its round eyes, the look of boba, and narrow face, looked very different from the lean, broad-headed cats Firepaw lived with now. And yet something about this cat seemed familiar. Firepaw stared harder. He sniffed, drawing in the other cat's scent. I don't recognize the smell, he thought, searching his memory. Then it came to him. Smudge! He meowed out loud. It was Smudge! How do you know my name? Stammered Smudge, still crouching. It's me, Firepaw meowed. House cat looked confused. We were kittens together. I lived in the garden next to you, Firepaw insisted. So maybe now it's been a couple of months? A couple of moons? Rusty? Meowed Smudge in disbelief. Is that you? Did you find the wild cats again? Or are you living with new housefolk? You must be, if you're still alive. I'm called Firepaw now, Firepaw meowed. He relaxed his shoulders and let his fur fall flat into a sleek orange pelt. Smudge relaxed too, his ears pricked up. Firepaw, he echoed, amused. Well, Firepaw, it looks like your new housefolk don't feed you enough. You certainly weren't this scrawny last time we met. I don't need 2 legs to feed me, Firepaw replied. I've got a whole forest of food to feed. 2 legs? Housefolk, that's what the clans call them. Smudge looked bewildered for a second, then his expression changed to one of complete astonishment. You mean you're really living with the wildcats? Yes, Firepaw paused. No, you smell different, unfamiliar. Unfamiliar? Smudge echoed. He sniffed. I suppose you're used to the smell of those wildcats now. Firepaw shook his head, as if to clear his mind. But we were kittens together. I should know your smell like I'd know the smell of my own birth mother. Then Firepaw remembered. Smudge had passed 6 moons. Oh, okay, so there's the amount of time they've been away. So 6 months? Like, is that it? No wonder he looked so soft and fat and smelled so strange. You've been to the Cutter. Not the Cutter. No, anything but the Cutter. He gasped. I mean, the vet. Smudge shrugged his plump black shoulders. So? He mewed. Firepaw was speechless. So Bluestar was right. Come on then. What's it like, living wild? Smudge demanded. Is it as good as you thought it'd be? Firepaw thought for a moment about last night, sleeping in a damp den. He thought about mouse bile and clearing away Yellow Fang's dirt, trying to please both Lionheart and Tiger Claw at once during training. He remembered the teasing he suffered about his kitty pet blood, Then he remembered the thrill of his first catch, of charging through the forest in pursuit of a squirrel, and of warm evenings beneath the stars sharing tongues with his friends. I know who I am now, he mused simply.
No.
Smudge tipped his head to one side and stared at Firepaw, clearly confused. I should be getting home, he mused. Mealtime soon. I wonder what he was doing out in the forest then. Maybe he happened to wander too far.
Oh goodness, how do I say your name? Is it supposed to be Succubi? Welcome on in for the first time. It's nice to meet you. I'm Momo Sakura, I chair Boston Cat Girl Idol. We are currently reading through Warrior Cats Book 1. Oh, yes, awesome. I got it right. Good. Oh, thank you for the stars. Bien gato. Yeah, are you familiar with the Warrior Cat series? Momo grew up reading them. I'm not 100% sure if they're still continuing the series, but I think I got about as far as the second or third series of books. Momo was kind of bad at keeping up with them, but we're starting on book 1 together with Chat. And we're currently on chapter 10, so we're about halfway through the book now. But thanks again for stopping by, and Momo hopes you enjoy your time here. Let's see, where was Momo?
Oh, go carefully, Smudge. Firepaw leaned forward and gave his old friend an affectionate lick between the ears. Smudge nuzzled him in return. And stay alert. There might be another cat in the area who is not as fond of house cats, as I am. Smudge's ears flicked nervously at these words. He looked around cautiously and leaped up onto the trunk of the fallen tree. Goodbye, Rusty, he mewed. I'll tell everyone at home that you're okay. Bye, Smudge, meowed Firepaw. Enjoy your meal. He watched the white tip of Smudge's tail disappear over the edge of the tree. In the distance, he could hear the rattle of dried food being shaken and a two-legs voice calling. Firepaw turned his high tail and started back toward his own home, sniffing the air as he went.
Navi, welcome on in. Good to see you. We're currently reading Warrior Cats, the first book, Into the Wild, book 1. And we are on chapter 10. We're actually just about to finish chapter 10 here. I think there's 15 chapters in total, book 1. So we're wrapping it up here. Hi, how are you today? Momo's doing great. How about you? Thank you for coming on by Momo's Cat Cafe. But can I get started from you? Yeah, it's almost, I guess it's Friday Eve, right? And before that, it'll be Weekend Eve before Cather Day. Did y'all have any fun plans for this weekend? Momo's day was pretty laid back and chill. We slept in late, went out, walked the doggo, had some late lunch. It was more like a brunch. And then we just kind of hung out, waited for my partner to head out to work, and yeah, we're streaming.
I'll find a finch or two here, he decided. Then I'll catch something else on the way back through the pines. He felt bursting with energy after meeting Smudge and realizing just how lucky he was to live in the clan. He looked up at the branches above him and began to stalk silently across the forest floor, every sense alert. Now he just needed to impress Blue Star and Tiger Claw, and the day would be perfect.
That's the end of chapter 10. Chapter 11. Coming up next.
Uppers to hydrate.
Okay, chapter 11.
Firepaw returned with a chaffinch gripped firmly between his teeth. He dropped it in front of Tiger Claw, who stood waiting in the hollow. You're the first one back, meowed the warrior. Yeah, but I've got loads more prey to fetch, Firepaw mewed quickly. I buried it back. I know exactly what you did, Tiger Claw growled. I've been watching you. A swish of bushes announced Greypaw's return. He was carrying a small squirrel in his mouth, which he dropped beside Firepaw's chaffinch.
Yuck,
he spat. Squirrels are too furry. I'll be picking hairs out of my teeth all evening. Tiger Claw paid no attention to Grey Paw's grumbling.
Ravenpaw's late, he observed. We'll give him a bit longer and then return to camp.
But what if he's been bitten by an adder? Firepaw protested.
Then it's his own fault,
Tiger Claw replied coldly.
There's no room for fools in ThunderClan.
They waited in silence. Grey Paw and Firepaw exchanged glances, worried about Ravenpaw. Tiger Claw sat motionless, apparently lost in his own thoughts. Firepaw was the first to scent Ravenpaw's arrival. He jumped to his paws as the black cat leaped into the clearing, looking unusually pleased with himself. Dangling from his mouth was the long, diamond-patterned body of an adder. Ravenpaw, are you okay? Firepaw called. Hey, meowed Greypaw, rushing forward to admire Ravenpaw's catch. Did that bite you? I was too quick for it, Ravenpaw purred loudly. Then he caught Tiger Claw's eye and fell silent. Let him have this win, Tiger Claw. He did so good. Tiger Claw fixed all three excited apprentices with a cold stare.
Come on, he said shortly. Let's collect the rest of your play and get back to camp.
Firepaw, Greypaw, and Ravenpaw entered the camp, strolling behind Tiger Claw. Their impressive day's catch hung from their mouths, although Ravenpaw kept tripping over his dead snake. As they emerged from the gorse into the camp, a group of young kids scrambled out of the nursery and watched them pass. Look, Firepaw heard one of them say. Apprentices, just back from hunting. He recognized the little tabby Yellowfang had hissed at the other day before. Sitting next to him was a fluffy gray kit, no more than 2 moons old. A tiny black kit and a small tortoiseshell stood beside them. Isn't that the kitty pet, Firepaw? Squeaked the gray kit. Yeah, look at his orange fur, mewed the black one. They say he's a good hunter, the tortoiseshell added. He looks like a bit like Lionheart. Do you suppose he's as good as him? Wait, I think maybe the tortoiseshell and the tabby, maybe those are the parents? I can't wait. Oh, no, I think they're still the youngins, the kids. Glizzy says, can't wait to start my training, mewed the tabby. I'm going to be the best warrior ThunderClan has ever seen. Firepaw lifted his chin, feeling proud of the kid's admiring comments. He followed his 2 friends into the center of the clearing. An adder! Greypaw mewed again, as the apprentices dropped their catch for the other cats to share. What shall I do with it? Asked Ravenpaw, sniffing the snake's long body as it lay beside the heap. Can you eat adders? Asked Greypaw. Trust you to think of your stomach, Firepaw joked, butting Greypaw with his head. Well, I wouldn't want to eat it, murmured Ravenpaw. I mean, my mouth tastes pretty foul after carrying it back. Let's put it up on the tree stump then, suggested Greypaw, so that Dustpaw and Sandpaw can see it when they get back. They each carried a piece of their fresh kill and the adder back to their den. Greypaw carefully placed the adder on the stump, arranging the snake so that it could be seen clearly from all sides, like their trophies. Then they ate. When they had finished, they sat close together to groom one another and talk. I wonder who Bluestar will choose to go to the gathering, Firepaw meowed. It'll be a full moon tomorrow. Sandpaw and Dustpaw have been twice already, Greypaw replied. Perhaps Bluestar will choose one of us this time, meowed Firepaw. After all, we've been training for almost 3 moons now. But Sandpaw and Dustpaw are still the eldest apprentices, Ravenpaw pointed out. Firepaw nodded. And this gathering will be an important one. It'll be the first time the clans have met since WindClan disappeared. No cat knows what ShadowClan is going to say about it. Tiger Claw's low meow interrupted them.
You are right, youngster.
The warrior had strolled up to them unnoticed.
By the way, Firepaw, he added smoothly, Bluestar wants to see you.
Firepaw looked up startled. Why would Bluestar want to see him?
Now, if you can spare the time, Tiger Claw meowed.
Firepaw jumped up immediately and bounded off across the clearing toward Blue Star's den. Blue Star was sitting outside, her tail flicking restlessly back and forth. When she saw Firepaw, she stood up and looked steadily down at him.
Tiger Claw has told me that you saw you talking with the cat from the two-leg place today, she meowed quietly.
But, Firepaw began.
He said that she began by fighting with this cat, but ended up sharing tongues with it.
Oh, shoot. I didn't even think about that. Stars, welcome on into the stream for the first time. How are you? It's nice to meet ya. I'm Momo Sakurai, Chairboss and Catfé Idol. And today we are having an ASMR reading stream. We are currently reading through Warriors Book 1. Hi! Here's my full body model if you would like to take a look at it. Wait, Mama? I'm Mama. Nice to meet you. You look very wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Means that. Thank you. Thank you for the sweet comment. Momo hopes you're having a positively wonderful day and hope that you enjoy your time here as Momo reads. We are on chapter 10 of the very first Warrior Cats book, which is Into the Wild. We're in the middle of chapter 11. That's true, Firepaw admitted, feeling his fur prickle defensively. But he was an old friend. We grew up together. He paused and swallowed. Gulp, when I was a kitty pet. Yeah, of course, you're very welcome. Absolutely. Almost happy to have some new cafe customers stop on in. Blue Star looked at him for a long moment.
Do you miss your old life, Firepaw?
She asked.
Think carefully now.
No. How can Blue Star think that? Firepaw wondered. His head was spinning. What was Blue Star trying to make him say?
Do you wish to leave the clan?
Of course not. Firepaw was shocked by her question. Blue Star didn't seem to hear the passion in his answer. She shook her head, looking suddenly old and tired.
I won't judge you if you leave us, Firepaw. Perhaps I expected too much of you. Perhaps my judgment has been clouded by the clan's need for new warriors.
Panic swept through Firepaw at the thought of leaving the clan forever.
But my place is here. This is my home, he protested.
Hi, Arlie. Yanni. Yeah, hello. Welcome on in to the stream. So glad to have you here once again this evening for Momo's ASMR reading stream. That's right, we're finally back to reading more Warrior Cats. Stars, thank you so much for the big hi. My, yay. Also, Fanyaman Yokai, welcome on in for the very first time. Pleasure to meet ya. I'm Momo Sakurai, a cherry blossom cat girl idol who runs a cat cafe called Positively Perfection Pastries. So if you'd like, please do take a seat and enjoy the stream. And maybe order something off the bar. Yummy, delicious cafe menu. So today, we are doing a reading ASMR stream. So Momo's using her whispering voice. We are on chapter 11 of the very first Warriors book, Warrior Cats, Into the Wild. So Momo's reading and voice acting the characters. Sit? Yes, please do. Let me know if you'd like to order something off of our yummy, delicious cafe menu. Alright, let's hydrate a little bit. Whenever I do lots of reading and voice acting, I gotta drink lots of water.
I need more than that, Firepaw. I need to be able to trust in your loyalty to ThunderClan, especially now that it looks like ShadowClan is planning an attack. We don't have room for anyone who isn't sure whether their heart lies in their past or the present.
Firepaw took a deep breath and chose his next words carefully.
When I saw Smudge today, as the house cat Tiger Claw saw me talking with, I saw what life would have been like if I had stayed with the two legs. I felt happy that I had not stayed. I was proud I left. He held Blue Star's gaze without flinching. Meeting Smudge made me certain I made the right decision. I could have never been satisfied with that soft life of a kitty pet.
Can I have some seafood soup then? Of course. Momo's cat cafe is usually based around like dessert, sweets, like coffees, boba, all that good stuff. But I'm sure one of our blossom buds in the back that works in making the foodstuffs can whip up something like that for you. This is peak entertainment. You're a good reader. Thank you. Momo's so happy to hear that. Give me anyone recommendation soft drink with it. Okay, sure. Yeah, if you want some seafood soup, we can definitely do that for you. If you're feeling like you want some boba, if you're a boba fan, Momo recommends the brown sugar milk tea. That's always Momo's favorite. With some boba. Otherwise, if you're not feeling up for milk tea, you could always try like a slushie. So you have any like tropical fruity drinks like pineapple mango with boba? Maybe you would prefer something like melon and peach. Just anything and everything you think of. Momo will make it for you. By the way, can you increase your audio a bit? Momo can just talk a little bit louder. I'll try my best. Because we're whispering for the ASMR stream. Boba works, okay, perfect. Lemonade or tea? Are you asking me, or is that what you want? Mama likes both. Even pink lemonade is better. Oh my god, Source, thank you so much for the extra big heart gift. Mwah. Thank you. Oh, Arlie, how am I doing? Mama's doing great. How are you? Yeah, we had a really laid back and chill day here at the cafe, so we're ending the night with some nice good old-fashioned ASMR and reading. Let's see. Blue Star looked closely at him for a moment, her eyes narrow. Then she nodded.
Very well, she said. I believe you.
Farpa. Oh, this is my personal bedtime story. There you go. So what kind of story are you reading? It's Warrior Cats. Let me see if I can look up like a good summarization of this story. Book 1, Intro to the... I could just like go yank it off my bookshelf. Into the Wild is a fantasy novel about the lives of fictional cats. And let's see what else. That's the TLDR. Into the Wild is the first book in the Prophecy, or the Prophecies Begin arc, formerly known as the original arc. So it's basically about a cat who grows up as a kitty pet. They're called kitty pets. So he lives with humans, and he basically the first chapter is of his name used to be Rusty before he got his apprentice name before he joined ThunderClan. But he had a dream where he was running through the forest and hunting wildlife to catch and just living off the forest pretty much. And he had this dream constantly, and he always just dreamed about living in the forest, being a forest cat. And sure enough, one day he got his wish, and he found a clan of cats that took him in because they were looking for more warriors. And warriors are basically cats that get trained, so they go from being kits when they're just little kittens, and then they work up to being apprentices. So usually cats, like when they're kittens. So let's see, so Rusty got his name Firepaw because he was already older, so he's an apprentice. So let's say he was a kit, his name would have been Fire Kit. And then after that, once he becomes an apprentice, he becomes Firepaw. And then from there, he gets a mentor, which is Blue Star, the leader. All of the clan leaders that get their warrior, they get their warrior names before they become leaders if they're lucky enough to do that. And for Blue Star, I think it was like Bluefur before that. And then when she became leader,
she became Blue Star.
Yeah, Spy Cat? Sure, yeah, kind of like that. Oh, I mean, just give me a short recap of what happened. Oh, I mean, a lot's happened. Like, how far? Oh, I mean, what's happening right now, anyways, pretty much they just had I guess, a test session just to see how well they hunted. So Firepaw joined Greypaw and Ravenpaw, his other besties in the clan that he's become good friends with since he joined, and they just got back from hunting, and one of the other mentors, Tiger Claw, was like, hey, Blue Star wants to talk to you, so that's kind of what they're doing right now. Because when Firepaw was out hunting, he saw Smudge, his kitty pet companion, before he went to the forest. And they were just like catching up with each other, but Tiger Claw reported that to Blue Star because clan cats are not supposed to converse with other cats, let alone like other cats in other clans. Pretty much so, I guess. I hope that made sense. The quick summarization. I tried my best. But yeah, hopefully that kind of gets the idea across. Personal question, what's your favorite food? Momo really likes crab rangoons. Oh, but also crepes. Crepes is probably my top one, number one favorite. Also, sorry, thank you so much for the follow. And also, Willie, welcome on in for the first time. Nice to meet ya. I'm Momo Kazakari, Channel some cat title. Kinda does look good. We're reading Warrior Cats into the Wild, book 1. We're nearly finished with the series. Or, excuse me, the book. The book 1, number 1. Okay, continue. Blue Star looked closely at him for a moment, her eyes narrow. Then she nodded. Very well, she said. I believe you. Firepaw dipped his head respectfully and let out a silent sigh of relief. I spoke to Yellowfang earlier, meowed Blue Star in a lighter tone. She thinks a lot of you. She's a wise old cat, you know, and I suspect she wasn't always bad-tempered. Indeed, I think that I could grow like her. What? Was that supposed to be? I think that was all for Blue Star. This is where I'm reading it off of. Like, somebody must have like just copy and pasted this into like, almost looks like a Google Doc, but I've seen like a few typos here and there. So maybe that was supposed to be meant for Firepaw? Firepaw felt an unexpected glow of pleasure at these words. Maybe in caring for Yellowfang, his admiration for her had grown into affection, despite the she-cat's ill temper. Whatever the reason, he was glad Blue Star liked her too. But there's something about her that I don't trust, Blue Star went on quietly. She will stay with ThunderClan for now, but remain as a prisoner. Prisoner? The queens will take care of her. You must concentrate on your training. Sorry, I just saw Warrior Cats and Tie Jumper. Oh, you like Warrior Cats? Let's go! Oh, well, thanks for joining, Lily. Yes. Momo grew up reading this series as a little kitten, so I think I got up to like the second or third series of books. So I think in each series there's like maybe 5. I have them on my bookshelf, but they're kind of blocked from my view. But yeah, I was kind of really bad with like keeping up with reading. There's just so many books. I'm not 100% sure if they're still going or not, but I've found out what happens later on in like other books though through the early days of like Warrior Cats animations and stuff like that on YouTube. Those were the days. So Momo has a good amount of warrior knowledge. Yeah, we're on chapter 11, in the middle of chapter 11 right now. So we'll see if we'll be able to finish it tonight.
Okay, must concentrate on your training. Firepaw nodded and waited to be dismissed, but Bluestar hadn't finished. Firepaw, although you showed bad judgment today in talking to a house cat, Tigerclaw was impressed by your hunting skills. In fact, he reported that you all did well. I am pleased with your progress. You will come to the gathering, all three of you.
Yay! How exciting!
Firepaw could hardly stand still. His body tingled with excitement. The gathering! What about Sandpaw and Dustpaw? Mia. They will remain behind and guard the camp, replied Bluestar. Now you may go. She flicked her long tail to show he was dismissed, and returned to her grooming. Greypaw and Ravenpaw looked stunned to see Firepaw bounding happily toward them. They had been waiting nervously for him beside the tree stump. Firepaw sat down and looked at his friends. Well, Greypaw demanded, what did she say? Tigerclaw told us you'd be sharing tongues with a kitty pet this morning, burst out Ravenpaw. Are you in trouble? No, although Bluestar wasn't pleased, Firepaw admitted ruefully. She thought I might want to leave ThunderClan. You don't, do you? Asked Ravenpaw. Of course he doesn't, mewed Greypaw. So many paws. Firepaw gave his brave friend an affectionate swipe. Yeah, you'd hate that. You need me to catch mice for you. All you can catch these days are hairy old squirrels. Greypaw dodged out of the way of Firepaw's blow and reared up on his back legs to retaliate. You'll never guess what else she said. Oh, that was Firepaw. Firepaw went on. He was too excited to waste time play fighting. Greypaw immediately dropped back onto all fours. What? He asked. We're all going to the gathering. Greypaw let out a yowl of delight and bounded up onto the tree stump. One of his back paws knocked the adder flying. It hit Ravenpaw on the head and wrapped itself around his neck. Oh no! You gotta save Ravenpaw. Ravenpaw spat with alarm and surprise, and then turned on Greypaw. Watch it, he hissed crossly. He shook the adder onto the ground. Scared it might try to bite you? Firepaw teased. He crouched down, hissing, and sidled up to Ravenpaw. Ravenpaw twitched his whiskers and retorted, Some snake you'd make. He leaped onto Firepaw and rolled him easily onto his back. The boys are so sweet. Greypaw reached down from the tree stump and gave Ravenpaw's tail a tug. As Ravenpaw turned to thump Greypaw with his soft forepaw, Firepaw jumped to his feet and leaped onto them both, sending Greypaw flying from the stump. All three cats tumbled into the dirt and tussled on the ground. Finally, they fell apart and settled themselves, panting beside the tree stump. Meowing, Momo, good meowing fire! So glad to have me stop on by Momo's stream to meow our mew. Good meowing to you. Good evening to Momo. And some other blossom buds. Continuing to read Warrior Cats into the Wild because it's very, very, very long overdue. We are actually just about to finish chapter 11 now, so we're about to be on to 12. I think we'll be able to finish it tonight. I have high hopes. Are Sandpaw and Dustpaw coming too? Puffed Greypaw. No, Firepaw replied, unable to disguise the note of triumph in his voice. They have to stay behind and guard the camp. Oh, let me tell them, begged Greypaw. I can't wait to see the looks on their faces. Me neither, Firepaw agreed. I can't believe we're going instead of them, especially after Tigerclaw saw me with Sponge today. That was just bad luck, answered Greypaw. We all caught a load of prey in the assessment. That must be what decided it. I wonder what the gathering will be like, mewed Ravenpaw. It'll be fantastic, Greypaw replied confidently. I bet all the great warriors will be there. Clawface, Stonefur. But Firepaw wasn't listening anymore. Instead, he found himself thinking about Tigerclaw and Smudge. Greypaw was right. It was bad luck that
The great warrior had been observing him when he had met his old friend. Why couldn't he have been watching Greypaw or Ravenpaw instead? In fact, it was bad luck that Tiger Claw had sent him so near to the Tulip place at all.
Was it a setup? Was it a setup, yo?
Suddenly, a dark thought entered Firepaw's mind. Why had Tiger Claw sent him so near to his old haunts? Had he wanted to test him? Yeah, totally. Could it be the great dark warrior didn't trust his loyalty to ThunderClan?
Bum bum bum. Chapter 12.
Firepaw peered over the brow of the brush-covered slope. Greypaw and Ravenpaw crouched beside him. Next to them was a group of ThunderClan elders, queens, and warriors, waited in the undergrowth for Blue Star to give the signal. Firepaw had not been to this place since his first journey with Lionheart and Tiger Claw.
Oh, Lily, thank you so much for the big heart. So many big hearts this stream. Double big hearts. Arigato. 3 big hearts. My goodness, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Almost heart is filled up there with so much love. Arigato. I was like, oh my gosh, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. So many hearts. Arigato. Enjoying the stream. Yay, let's go. Yatta. That makes Momo happy to hear. I'm really glad to hear that. Momo, when chat is enjoying the stream, it makes Momo even more glad. Okay, so it looks like they're about to head out to the gathering, so let's see how this goes. Surely, only good stuff will come out of this, right? Gotta make good first impressions on the other clan cats. Firepaw had not been to this place. Oh, I read that. The steep-sided glade looked different now. The rich greenness of the woods had been bleached away by the cold light of the full moon, and the leaves on the trees glowed silver. At the bottom stood the large oaks that marked where the corner of each clan's territory touched the other tree, or the other three. Yeah, Momo has a lot of fun reading to Nyo, because not only does it, let me read not only a series that is really near and dear to my heart, but I just like reading in general, and it's been a while since I've read this series, so it's nice to come back to, and I really do enjoy voice acting that. Momo's gotta practice her voice acting skills. The air was thick with the warm scents of cats from other clans. Firepaw could see them quite clearly in the moonlight, moving about below in the grassy clearing that lay between the 4 oaks. In the center of the clearing, a large jagged rock rose from the forest floor like a broken tooth. "Look at all those cats down there," hissed Ravenpaw under his breath. "There's Crooked Star," Greypaw hissed back. "RiverClan's leader." "Where?" Firepaw mewed, nudging Greypaw impatiently. "The light-colored tabby beside the great rock." "Oh, same here. I go to the library every Tuesday. Wow, that's nice." Yeah, Momo moved recently, and I moved from the countryside on the Sakurai farm to here in town with my partner Ed, and I think there's like maybe 2 or 3 public libraries, but I haven't yet even been, but I really want to go. If Momo could, I would definitely love to just live in a library. Hi Leia! Hi, how are we doing today? Thanks for stopping on by Momo's stream, checking it out. We're reading through Warriors Book 1 Into the Wild. We're also live streaming on Medium as well. If you'd like to join in over there as well. Firepaw followed Greypaw's nod and saw a huge Tom, even bigger than Lionheart, sitting at the center of the clearing. His striped coat shone pale in the moonlight. Even from this distance, his old face showed the signs of a harsh life, and his mouth looked twisted, as if it had once been broken and had healed badly. "Hey," mewed Greypaw, "did you see Sandpaw's
spit when I told her I hoped she had a nice evening at home? You bet, Firepaw purred. Ravenpaw interrupted them with a muffled growl. Look, there's Broken Star, Shadow Clan's leader, he hissed. Firepaw looked down at the dark brown tabby. His fur was unusually long and his face was broad and flattened. Well, I wonder if he's like a Persian, one of those smoosh-faced cats. Hi, Leah. There's Leah. Welcome. Why you always join in this room and say bye, silly? Are you here or are you on Twitch? Maybe you're here and there, maybe both. Firepaw looked down at the dark brown tabby. I said that. There was a stillness in the way he sat and stared around him that made Firepaw's fur prickle uncomfortably. It looks pretty nasty, Firepaw muttered. Stop! That's not what you should say when you meet some kitty for the first time. Yeah, agreed Greypaw. He's certainly got a reputation among all the clans for not suffering fools gladly. And he's not been leader for that long. 4 moons, ever since his father Ragged-Star died. What does the leader of Wind Clan look like? Firepaw asked. Tallstar? I've never seen him, but I know he's black and white with a very long tail, answered Greypaw. Oh, nice! So thanks for sticking around, Leia. Good to see ya. Do you have both streams open on Twitch and Medium, or just Medium? Can you see him now? Asked Ravenpaw. Greypaw peered down, searching the crowd of cats below. Nope. Can you send any Wind Clan cats? Firepaw asked. Greypaw shook his head. No. Lionheart's meow sounded softly beside them. The Wind Clan cats may just be late. But what if they don't turn up at all? Mewed Greypaw. Hush, we must be patient. These are difficult times. Now keep quiet. Blue Star will give the signal to move soon. Lionheart mewed quietly. Hi, Blanc. Welcome on in. Glad to see you here on the stream. Thanks for joining. Let's see here. As he spoke, Blue Star stood and, holding her tail high, flicked it from one side to the other. Firepaw's heart missed a beat as the ThunderClan cats rose as one and bounded through the bushes, down toward the meeting place. He raced alongside them, feeling the wind rush in his ears, and his paws tingle with anticipation. The ThunderClan cats paused instinctively on the edge of the clearing, outside the boundary of the oaks. Blue Star sniffed the air, then she nodded and the troop moved forward into the clearing. Firepaw felt thrilled. The other cats looked even more impressive close up. Milling about the great rock, a large white warrior strode past. Firepaw and Ravenpaw looked at him in awe. Look at his paws, Ravenpaw murmured. Firepaw looked down and realized the huge paws of this great Tom were jet black. It must be Blackfoot, mewed Greypaw, ShadowClan's new deputy. Blackfoot stalked over to Broken Star and sat down beside him. The ShadowClan leader acknowledged him with a twitch of one ear, but said nothing. When does the meeting begin? Ravenpaw asked Whitestorm. Be patient, Ravenpaw, he answered. The sky is clear tonight, so we have plenty of time. Lionheart leaned over and added, We warriors like to spend a little time boasting about our victories, while the elders swap tales about the ancient days before the Two Lakes came here. All 3 apprentices looked up at him and saw his whiskers twitch mischievously. Dappletail, One Eye, and Small Ear headed straight off toward a group of elderly cats who were settling themselves below one of the oak trees. Whitestorm and Lionheart strolled over to another pair of warriors whom Firepaw did not know. He sniffed the air and recognized their scent as River Clan. Blue Star's voice sounded behind the three apprentices. Don't waste any of your time tonight, she warned. This is a good opportunity to meet your enemies. Listen to them. Remember what they look like and how they behave. There's a great deal to be learned from these meetings.
Yes, the one time that all the cats can get together without having any disagreements or nothing. Every kitty gets along as much as possible anyways.
And say little, warned Tiger Claw. Don't give anything away that might be against us once the moon has waned.
Don't worry, we won't, Firepaw promised hastily, looking into Tiger Claw's eyes. The feeling that Tiger Claw didn't trust his loyalty lingered with him still. The two warriors nodded and moved on, and the apprentices were left alone. They looked at each other. What do we know? What do we do now? Firepaw asked. What they said, replied Ravenpaw. Listen. Don't say too much, Greypaw added. Firepaw nodded gravely. I'm going to see where Tiger Claw went, he mewed. Well, I'm going to find Lionheart, mewed Greypaw. You coming, Ravenpaw? No, thanks, Ravenpaw replied. I'm going to find some of the other apprentices. Okay, we'll meet up later, mewed Firepaw, and he trotted in the direction Tiger Claw had taken. He scented Tiger Claw easily and found himself sitting at the center of the group of huge warriors behind the great rock. Tiger Claw was speaking.
It was a tale... Oh, I was getting ready to say that like Tiger Claw.
He wasn't speaking.
It was a tale Firepaw had heard many times at camp. Tiger Claw was describing his recent battle against the River Clan hunting party. Right in front of the River Clan cats.
I wrestled like a Lion Clan cat. 3 warriors tried to hold me down, but I threw them off. I fought them until 2 lay knocked out, and the other had run off into the forest like a kid crying for its mother.
This time, Tiger Claw didn't mention killing Oakheart in revengeance for Redtail's death. Perhaps it's so he doesn't offend the River Clan warriors, Firepaw decided. Firepaw listened politely to the end of the story, but a familiar scent was distracting him. As soon as Tiger Claw had finished speaking, Firepaw turned and crept away toward the sweet smell, which was coming from a group of cats nearby. He found Greypaw sitting among these cats, but that was not the scent he had been following. Sitting opposite, Greypaw between 2 River Clan Toms, was Spotted Thief.
This was like Momo's favorite cat. I'm not sure why.
I guess because she always seemed so sweet. And very kind and caring. Firepaw glanced at her shyly and settled himself beside his friend. Still no scent of Wind Clan, mused Greypaw. The meeting hasn't begun yet. They may still come, replied his friend. Look, there's Runny Nose. He's the new Shadow Clan medicine cat, apparently. He nodded toward a small gray and white cat at the center of the group. I can see why they call him Runny Nose, Firepaw remarked. Excuse me. Medicine Cat's nose was wet at the tip and encrusted around the edges. Oh no, his nose is always so runny. Yep, replied Greypaw with a scornful growl. I can't see why they appointed him when he can't even cure his own cold. Runny Nose was telling the cats about an herb that medicine cats had used in the old days to cure kitten cough. Oh, is this Runny Nose? Oh gosh, what voice should we give him? There's gonna be so many cats here at the gathering. Should I give him like a sniffly voice? Since the 2 lakes came and filled the place with hard earth and strange flowers, he complained in a high-pitched yell, the herbs has disappeared? You mean the herbs have disappeared? The herbs has disappeared. And kittens die needlessly in cold weather. The cats gathered around him, yelled their disapproval. It never would have happened in The time of the great clan cats, growled the Black River Clan Queen. Oh. Indeed, mewed the Silver Tabby. The great cats would have killed any two legs that dared enter their territory. If Tiger Clan roamed this forest still, two legs would not have built this far into our land. Then Firepaw heard Spotted quiet mew. If Tiger Clan still roamed these forests, we would hardly have made our territory here either. Oh, hi Caesar! Good evening to you. How's it going? Good evening. Wait a minute. This isn't the cat cafe. Yeah, what the heck? Momo took the Blossom Buds on another fun-filled field trip to the forest to continue our comfy, cozy reading session of the first Warrior Cat's book, Into the Wild. Yeah, we're finishing, hopefully tonight, finishing the first book here. Since we last read, I think it was like a month or two ago. It's been a while, it's been far too long. So, Momo wanted to try and see if we could finish it together tonight. Okay, can I still order? Yeah, what can I get for you? I'm sure we have some like Meals on Wheels on our bus that we took here. Made sure to pack snacks for Blossom Buds in case they get hungry. Ice cream, okay, coming right up. One of the other Blossom Buds will serve it up to you shortly. Where was Violet talking? If Tiger Clan still roamed these forests, we would hardly have made our territory here either. What's Tiger Clan? Mewed a small voice beside them. Firepaw noticed a little tabby apprentice from one of the other clans sitting beside him. Tiger Clan is one of the great cat clans that used to roam the forest, Firepaw explained quietly. Tiger Clan is cats of the night, big as horses, with jet black stripes. Then there's Lion Clan. There, Grandpa hesitated, frowning as he tried to remember. So basically clans of literally like lions and tigers, pretty much. Yeah, Tiger Clan and Lion Clan. Wow, we got Tiger Claw and Lionheart. Maybe they have ancestors from there. Hey, sweet, yeah. We're reading today. Currently reading Warriors #1, Into the Wild. Oh, nuts, I'm so sorry for this continuing. No worries. Mom hopes you enjoy your ice cream though. What kind of flavor of ice cream is it though? You can never go wrong with a nice vanilla ice cream cone. Oh, I've heard of them, mewed the tabby. They're as big as Tiger Clan cats with yellow fur and golden manes like the rays of sun. Grandpa nodded. And then there's the other one, Spotty Clan, or something like that. Spotty Clan? So maybe that's for like, oh, there it is. I suspect you're thinking of Leopard Clan, young Greypaw. Meowed a voice from behind them. Lionheart! Greypaw greeted his mentor with an affectionate touch of his nose. Lionheart shook his head in mock despair. Don't you youngsters know your history? Leopard Clan are the swiftest cats, huge and golden, spotted with black paw prints. You can thank Leopard Clan for the speed and hunting skills you now possess. Thank them? Why? Asked the tabby. Lionheart gazed down at the little apprentice and answered, There is a trace of all great clans in every cat today. There's a trace of all great cats in every cat today. We would not be night hunters without our Tiger Clan ancestors, and our love of the sun's warmth comes from Lion Clan. He paused. You are a Shadow Clan apprentice, aren't you? How many moons are you? The tabby stared awkwardly down at the ground. 6 months, he stammered, not meeting Lionheart's eye. Rather small for 6 moons. Lionheart murmured. His tone was gentle, but his gaze was searching and serious. Oh, thank you, Dial. Yes, you're welcome, Dial.
Strawberry. Good choice, good choice.
My mother was small too, answered the tabby nervously. He bowed his head and backed away, disappearing into the crowd of cats with a twitch of his light brown tail. Lionheart turned to Firepaw and Greypaw.
Well, he might be small, but at least he was very curious. If only you two showed as much interest in stories your elders tell.
Sorry, Lionheart, Firepaw and Greypaw mewed, exchanging doubtful glances. Lionheart grunted and grunted good-naturedly.
Oh, go away, the pair of you. Next time I hope Blue Star decides to bring apprentices who appreciate what they hear.
And with that, with a half-hearted growl, he chased them away from the group.
Now get away.
Come on, purred Greypaw as they leaped away. Let's see where Ravenpaw's gone to. Ravenpaw was in the middle of a group of apprentices who were clamoring for him to tell him about the battle with RiverClan. Go on, Ravenpaw, tell us about what happened, called a pretty black and white she-cat. Ravenpaw shyly shuffled his paws and shook his head. Come on, Ravenpaw, insisted another. Ravenpaw looked around and saw Firepaw and Greypaw at the edge of the crowd. Firepaw nodded encouragingly. Ravenpaw flicked his tail in acknowledgement and began his story. He stumbled a bit at first, but as he continued, the tremor disappeared from his voice and his audience leaned in, their eyes growing wider.
Fur was flying everywhere, blood spattered, the leaves of the bramble bushes, bright red against green. I just fought off a huge warrior and sent him squealing into the bushes when the ground shook, and I heard a warrior scream. It was Oakheart. Redtail raced past me, his mouth dripping blood and his fur torn. Oakheart is dead, he yelled. Then he rushed off to help Tigerclaw as he fought another warrior. You would have thought Ravenpaw was such a great storyteller, Greypaw murmured to Firepaw, sounding impressed. But Firepaw was thinking of something else. What was it Ravenpaw had said? That Redtail had killed Oakheart? But according to Tigerclaw, Oakheart had killed Redtail, and he, Tigerclaw, had killed Oakheart in revenge.
Bum, bum, bum. No, what's the truth here?
If Redtail killed Oakheart, who killed Redtail? Firepaw hissed to Greypaw.
If who did what? Greypaw echoed absent-mindedly. He was only half listening to Firepaw.
Does he even know what you just said?
Firepaw shook his head to clear it. Ravenpaw must have been mistaken, he thought. He must have meant Tigerclaw. Ravenpaw was coming to the end of his story. Finally, Redtail dragged the wailing cat off Tigerclaw by his tail, and the strength of the whole of TigerClan flung him into the bushes. A moving shadow caught Firepaw's eye. He glanced around and saw Tigerclaw standing a short distance away. The warrior was watching Ravenpaw with an iron stare because Ravenpaw knows what happened, y'all. And Tigerclaw's making sure he does not say anything that he should not say. He's trying to cover up his tracks. Doesn't want anything slipping out. Unaware of his mentor's presence, Ravenpaw continued to answer question after question from his enthusiastic audience. What were Oakheart's dying words? Is it true that Oakheart had never lost a battle before? Ravenpaw replied promptly, with his voice high and clear and his eyes shining. But when Firepaw glanced back at Tigerclaw, he saw a look of horror and then fury creep over the warrior's face. Clearly, Tigerclaw wasn't enjoying Ravenpaw's story at all. Firepaw was just about to say something to Greypaw when a loud yell signaled to all the cats for quiet. Firepaw couldn't help feeling relieved as Ravenpaw fell silent at last, and Tigerclaw turned away.
Anyway, I'm almost home, so I'm gonna go. Okay, alright, Caesar. Have a good night. Take care, and we'll see you later. Well, thank you so much for the hydrate. I was just about to do that. Since we just finished the page. Arigato. Thank you so much. continue the next time you stop on by the cat cafe, okay? Or Momo's Comfy Cozy Forest. Bye bye, sayonara, omyasumi nasai. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Firepaw looked up to see where the yell had come from. 3 cats sat silhouetted against the moonlit sky on top of the great rock. They were Blue Star, Broken Star, and Crooked Star. The clan leaders were about to begin the meeting, but where was the Wind Clan leader? Surely they won't start the meeting without Tall Star. Firepaw hissed under his breath. I don't know, Graypaw muttered back. Haven't you noticed? There isn't a single Wind Clan cat here, whispered a River Clan apprentice on the side of Firepaw. Firepaw guessed that similar conversations were going on all around him, as the other cats were gathering beneath the great rocks, an unsettled murmuring rumbling in their throats. "We can't start yet," yelled one voice above the noise. "Where are the Wind Clan representatives? We must wait until all clans are present." On top of the rock, Blue Star stepped forward. Her gray fur glowed almost white in the moonlight. "Cats of all clans, welcome," she meowed in a clear voice. "It is true that Wind Clan is not present, but Broken Star wishes to speak anyway." Broken Star padded noiselessly up to stand beside her. He surveyed the crowd for a few moments, his orange eyes burning. Then he took a deep breath and began, "Friends, I come to speak to you tonight about the needs of Shadow Clan." But he was interrupted by raised, impatient voices from below. "Where's Tall Star?" cried one. "Where are the Wind Clan warriors?" yelled another. Broken Star stretched up to his full height and lashed his tail from side to side. "As the leader of Shadow Clan, it is my right to address you here," he growled in a voice full of menace. The crowd fell into an uneasy silence. All around him, Firepaw could smell the acrid tang of fear. Broken Star yelled again. "We all know that the hard time of Leaf Bear and late New Leaf have left us with little prey in our hunting grounds. But we also know that Wind Clan, River Clan, and Thunder Clan lost many kits in the freezing weather that came so late this season. Shadow Clan did not lose kits. We are hardened to the cold north wind. Our kits are stronger than yours from the moment they are born. And so we find ourselves with many mouths to feed, and too little prey to feed them." The crowd, still silent, listened anxiously. "The needs of Shadow Clan are simple. In order to survive, we must increase our hunting territory. That is why I insist that you allow Shadow Clan warriors to hunt in your territories." A shocked but muted growl rippled through the crowd. "Share our hunting grounds?" growled the outraged voice of Tiger Claw. "It is unprecedented," cried a tortoiseshell queen from River Clan. The clans have never shared hunting rights." "Should Shadow Clan be punished because our kits thrive?" yelled Broken Star from the Great Rock. "Do you want us to watch our young starve? You must share what you have with us."
Must,
spat Small Ear furiously from the back of the crowd.
"Must," repeated Broken Star. "Wind Clan failed to understand this. In the end, we were forced to drive them out of their territory."
That's why they did not show up, y'all. They are not present because Shadow Clan drove them out so that they can hunt in their territory. But even then, why bother Thunder Clan or really River Clan, any of the other clans about this then? But still, it's not good that you made them move somewhere else. Where the heck are they? That explains a lot. Snarls of outrage burst from the crowd, but Broken Star's caterwaul rang loud above them.
"And if we have to, we will drive you all from your hunting grounds in order to feed our hungry kits."
There was instant silence. On the other side of the clearing, Firepaw heard a River Clan apprentice start to mutter something, but he was quietly hushed by an elder. Satisfied that he had every cat's attention, Broken Star continued.
Each year, the two lakes spoil more of our territory. At least one clan must remain strong, if all the clans are to survive. Shadow Clan thrives while you all struggle, and there may come a time when you will need us to protect you. You doubt our strength, hissed Tiger Claw. His pale eyes glared threateningly at the Shadow Clan leader, and his powerful shoulders rippled with tension. I do not ask for your answer now. Broken Star ignored the warrior's challenge. You must each go away and consider my words, but bear this in mind. Would you prefer to share your prey, or be driven out and left homeless and starved? Warriors, elders, and apprentices looked at one another in disbelief. In the anxious pause that followed, Crooked Star stepped forward. I have already agreed to allow Shadow Clan some hunting rights in the river that runs through our territory. He meowed quietly, gazing down at his clan. Horror and humiliation rippled through the River Clan cats at their leader's words. We were not consulted, cried a grizzled silver tabby. I feel that this is the best for our clan, for all the clans, Crooked Star explained, his voice heavy with resignation. There are plenty of fish in the river. It is better to share our prey than to spill blood fighting over it. And what of Thunder Clan? Small-Ear croaked. Blue Star, have you too agreed to this outrageous demand? Blue Star unwaveringly met the old cat's gaze. I have made no agreement with Broken Star, except that I shall discuss this proposal with my clan after the gathering. Well, at least that's something, muttered Greypaw at Firepaw's ear. We'll show them we're not as soft as that yellow-bellied river clan. Broken Star spoke up again, his rasping voice sounding arrogant and strong after Crooked Star's surrender. I also bring news that is important to the safety of your kids. A Shadow Clan cat has turned rogue and spurred the warrior code. We chased her out of our camp, but we do not know where she is now. She looks a mangy old creature, but she has a bite like Tiger Clan.
No. Is he referring to Yellowfang?
Firepaw's fur bristled. Could Broken Star possibly be talking about Yellowfang? He pricked up his ears, curious to hear more. She's dangerous. I warn you, do not offer shelter to her. And,
oops, are you too late?
Broken Star paused dramatically. Until she is caught and killed, I urge you to keep a close eye on your kids. Firepaw knew from the nervous growl that rumbled in the throats of the ThunderClan cats that they, too, had thought of Yellowfang. The bold she-cat had done nothing to endear herself to her reluctant hosts, and Firepaw guessed it wouldn't take much to drum up hatred against her.
You know, right around this time, Momo starts to get the yawns. Even the words of a despised enemy like Broken Star would be enough. Shadow Clan warriors began to push their way out of the throng of cats. Broken Star leaped down from the rock, and his warriors immediately surrounded him and escorted him away from 4 trees. Back into Shadow Clan territory. The remaining Shadow Clan cats followed behind quickly, including the undersized tabby Lionheart I questioned earlier. But among the other Shadow Clan apprentices, the tabby no longer looked unusually small. They all looked tiny and undernourished, more like kids of 3 or 4 moons than full-fledged apprentices. They're so small. No.
What do you think of all that? Greypaw mewed in a low voice. Ravenpaw bounded over before Firepaw could reply. What's going to happen now? He wailed, his fur fluffed up in alarm and his eyes wider than ever. Firepaw didn't answer. The elders of ThunderClan were gathering nearby. He was straining to hear what they were saying. That must be Yellowfang he was talking about, growled Small-Ear. Well, she did snap at Goldenflower's youngest kid the other day. murmured Speckletail darkly. She was the oldest nursery queen and fiercely protective of all the kids. And we've left her behind, with the camp virtually unguarded, wailed One Eye, for once seeming to be having no trouble hearing everything. I tried to tell you she was a danger to us, hissed Darkstripe. Blue Star has to listen to reason now and get rid of her before she harms any of our young. Tiger Claw strode up to the group. We must return to camp at once and deal with this rogue, he yelled. Firepaw didn't stop to hear any more. His mind was spinning. Loyal as he was to his clan, he just couldn't believe that Yellowfang would be a danger to kids. Frightened for the old she-cat, burning with questions only she could answer, he raced away from Grey Pond Ravenpaw without a word. Charged up the hillside and pelted through the forest. Had he been mistaken about Yellowfang? If he warned her about the danger she was in, would he be risking his own position in ThunderClan? Whatever trouble he got into, he had to find out the truth from her before the other cats got back to the camp. Chapter 13. Firepaw reached the edge of the ravine and looked down at the camp. He was panting and his paws were slippery with dew. He sniffed the air. He was alone. There was still some time to speak to Yellowfang before the others returned from the gathering. Silently, he jumped down the rocky slope and slipped through the gorse tunnel and noticed. The camp was still quiet, apart from the muted snuffles of sleeping cats. Firepaw quickly crept around the edge of the clearing to Yellowfang's nest. The old medicine cat was curled on top of her mossy bedding. Yellowfang, he hissed urgently. Yellowfang, wake up! It's important. 2 orange eyes opened and glinted in the moonlight. I wasn't sleeping, Yellowfang mewed quietly. She sounded calm and alert. You came straight from the gathering to me? That must mean you've heard. She blinked slowly and looked away. So Broken Star kept his promise. Which is crazy because I think there's literally a book called Broken Star's Promise. What promise? Firepaw felt very confused. Yellowfang seemed to know more than he did about what was going on. Shadow Clan's noble leader promised to drive me away from every clan territory, Yellowfang replied dryly. What did he say about me? He warned us that our kids were in danger as long as we sheltered with the Shadow Clan rogue. He didn't say your name, but ThunderClan guessed who he was talking about. You must leave before the others get back. You are in danger. You mean they believed Broken Star? Yellowfang flattened her ears and swished her tail angrily. Yes, Firepaw meowed urgently. Darkstripe says you're dangerous. The other cats are scared of what they might do, or what you might do. Tiger Claw is planning to come back and... I don't know. I think you should go before they get here. In the distance, Firepaw could hear the yowls of angry cats. Yellowfang struggled stiffly to her paws. Firepaw gave her a nudge to help her up, his mind still spinning with questions. What did Broken Star mean when he warned us to keep a close eye on our kids? He couldn't stop himself from asking. Would you really do something like that? Would I what? Would you harm our kids? Yellowfang flared her nostrils and looked steadily at him. Do you think so? Firepaw met her gaze without flinching. No, I don't believe you would ever harm a kid. But why would Broken Star say such a thing? The noise of the cats was coming near, and with it, the sense of aggression and anger. Yellowfang looked wildly from side to side. Sakurai, we were listening. Oh, nice, good. What's on your menu tonight? What do you got that you're munching on? Go, Firepaw urged. His safety was more important than his curiosity. Well, thanks for listening to Momo's stream while she reads. But Yellowfang remained where she was and stared at him. A calm look suddenly came into her wide eyes. Firepaw, you believe I'm innocent, and I'm grateful for that. If you believe me, then the others might, and I know Blue Star will give me a fair hearing. I can't run forever. I'm too old. I shall stay here and face whatever your clan decides for me. She sighed and sank down onto her bony haunches. But what about Tiger Claw? What if he is headstrong and he knows the power he has over the other clan cats? They are in awe of him, but even he will obey Blue Star.
Rustling in the undergrowth beyond the camp boundary told Firepaw that the cats were almost at the entrance.
Go away, Firepaw,
hissed Yellowfang, baring her blackened teeth at him.
Don't make trouble for yourself by being seen with me now. There's nothing you can do for me. Have faith in your leader, and let her decide what happens to me.
Firepaw realized Yellowfang had made her mind up. He touched noses with her patchy fur, then crept silently away into the shadows to watch. Through the gorse came the cats, Blue Star first, accompanied by Lionheart. Frostfur and Willowpelt were right behind them. Frostfur raced away from the troop immediately and ran toward the nursery, the fur on her tail bristling in alarm. Tigerclaw and Darkstripe strode into the clearing, shoulder to shoulder, looking grim. The others followed behind, with Ravenpaw and Greypaw at the rear. As soon as he saw his friends, Firepaw trotted out to join them.
You went to warn Yellowfang, didn't you?
Whispered Greypaw, then Firepaw reached his side.
Yes, I did, Firepaw admitted, but she won't leave. She trusts Blue Star to treat her fairly. Did anyone miss me?
Only us,
replied Ravenpaw.
Around the camp, the cats who had stayed began to wake up. They must have scented the aggression and heard the tension in their voices of the returning cats, for they all came running into the clearing, their tails held high.
What has happened?
Called a tabby warrior named Running Wind.
Broken Star has demanded hunting rights for ShadowClan in our territory, replied Longtail loudly.
Enough for all the cats to hear. And he warned us about the rogue who will harm our kids, wailed Willowpelt. It must be Yellowfang. Meows of anger and distress rose from the crowd.
Silence, ordered Blue Star, leaping onto the high rock.
Instinctively, the cats settled in front of her. A loud screech made every cat turn its head toward the fallen tree where the elders slept. Tigerclaw and Darkstripe were dragging Yellowfang roughly from her nest. Oh no! She shrieked furiously as they hauled her over into the clearing and dumped her in front of the high rock. Firepaw felt every muscle in his body tense. Without thinking, he dropped into a low crouch, ready to spring at Yellowfang's persecutors.
Wait, Firepaw,
growled Greypaw in his ear.
Let Blue Star deal with this. What is going on? Demanded Blue Star, jumping down from the high rock and glaring at her warriors. I gave no orders to attack our prisoner.
Tigerclaw and Darkstripe instantly let go of Yellowfang, who crouched in the dust, hissing and spitting. Frostfur appeared from the nursery and pushed her way through to the front of the clan. We got back in time, she meowed in a gasp. The kids are safe.
Of course they are, snapped Blue Star.
Frostfur seemed taken aback. But you are going to throw Yellowfang out, aren't you? She meowed, her blue eyes wide.
Throw her out, spat Darkstripe, unleashing his claws. We should kill her now.
Blue Star fixed her piercing blue eyes on Darkstripe's angry face.
And what has she done?
She asked with icy calm. Firepaw held his breath.
You were at the gathering. Broken Star said she,
Darkstripe began. Just believe anything any cat says. Broken Star said that only there is a rogue somewhere in the woods. Meowed Blue Star, her voice menacingly quiet. He did not mention Yellowfang by name. The kids are safe. For as long as she is in my clan, Yellowfang will not be harmed in any way.
Bluestar's words were met with silence, and Firepaw heaved a heavy sigh of relief. Yellowfang looked up at Bluestar and narrowed her eyes respectfully.
I will leave now, if you wish it, Bluestar. There is no need, Bluestar replied. You have done nothing wrong. You will be safe here.
The ThunderClan leader lifted her gaze. The crowd of cats that surrounded Yellowfang and meowed.
It is time we discuss the real threat to our clan, Broken Star. We have already begun to prepare for an attack by Shadow Clan, Bluestar began. We'll carry on with those preparations and patrol our borders more frequently. Wind Clan has gone. River Clan has given hunting rights to Shadow Clan warriors. Thunder Clan stands alone against Broken Star.
Bluestar's not done. A murmur of defiance rippled through the cats, and Firepaw felt his fur prickle with anticipation.
Then we're not going to agree to Broken Star's demands, meowed Tiger Claw. Clans have never shared hunting grounds before, or hunting rights. They have always managed to support themselves in their own territories. There is no reason why this should change. Tiger Claw nodded approvingly.
But can we defend ourselves against a Shadow Clan attack?
Asked Smolier's tremulous voice.
Wind Clan didn't manage it. River Clan won't even try.
Bluestar met his old eyes with her steady gaze.
We must try. We will not give up our territory without a fight.
All around the clearing, Firepaw saw the cats nodding in agreement.
I shall travel to the Moonstone tomorrow, Bluestar announced. The warriors of Star Clan will give me the strength I need to lead Thunder Clan through this dark time. We must all get some rest. We have a lot to do when the daylight comes. I wish to talk with the Lionheart now.
Without another word, she turned and strode toward her den. Firepaw noticed the look of wonder that had entered the eyes of some of the cats when Bluestar had mentioned the Moonstone. Now the clan cats hurriedly gathered in groups, meowing in hushed voices of excitement.
What's the Moonstone? Firepaw asked Greypaw.
Grimace! Welcome to the stream for the first time. It's such an honor to have such a high-ranking McDonald's mascot here in chat. Welcome. Hope your day's going well. Would you be able to spare a Grimace shake for Momo? We're reading through the first Warrior Cats book. We are on chapter 12 now.
It's a rock deep underground that shines in the dark, whispered Greypaw. His voice was hoarse with awe. All clan leaders have to spend one night at the Moonstone when they are first chosen. There, the spirits of the Star Clan share with them. Share what with them? Greypaw frowned. I don't know, he admitted. I know only that the new leaders have to sleep near the stone. And as they sleep, they have special dreams. After that, they have the gift of 9 lives. Take the name Star.
Firepaw watched Yellowfang went back to her shadowy nest. It looked like Tiger Claw's rough treatment had aggravated her old injury. As he trotted back to the apprentice's den, Firepaw decided to ask Spottedly for more poppy seeds in the morning.
So what happened?
He asked Spot eagerly, popping his head out of the den. He seemed to have forgotten how much he resented the new apprentice and his eagerness to hear about the gathering.
It's like Longtail said, Broken Star demanded hunting rights.
Greypaw began. Pardon me. Sandpaw and Dustpaw sat and listened, but Firepaw was watching the camp. He could see the silhouettes of Bluestar and Lionheart sitting close together outside her den, talking urgently. Then he noticed the small shape of Ravenpaw at the entrance of the warrior's den. Tiger Claw stood beside him. Firepaw saw Ravenpaw's ears flatten as the young cat flinched away from Tiger Claw's fierce words. The dark warrior loomed over him, twice his size, but his eyes and teeth flashing in the moonlight. What was he saying to Ravenpaw? Firepaw was just about to creep near and listen when Ravenpaw backed away, turned, and ran across the clearing. Firepaw greeted Ravenpaw as he reached the front of his den, but Ravenpaw hardly seemed to notice him. Instead, he pushed his way inside the den without a word. What did he say to him, y'all? Firepaw got up to follow him when he saw Lionheart approaching. Well, yelled the ThunderClan deputy, striding up to the apprentices. It seems that Firepaw, Greypaw, and Ravenpaw are about to reach another important stage in their training. What's that? Mused Greypaw, looking excited. Bluestar wishes you three to accompany her on her journey to Moonstone. Lionheart didn't miss the look of disappointment on their faces of Onyo, Dustpaw, and Sandpaw. Onyo, they heard. Sorry, I accidentally scrolled. Let's see. Oh, there it is. I went up a whole page now. Chan, welcome on into the stream for the first time. It's nice to meet you. I'm Momoko Sakurai, Chair Blossom Cat Cafe. I'm in the cat cafe here called Positively Perfection Pastries, so if you'd like, please do take a seat and enjoy the stream. Maybe order something off the yummy, delicious cafe menu. Tonight, we are doing an ASMR whispering stream as I read the first book of Warriors, which is Into the Wild. We are in the middle of chapter 12. I'm pretty sure there's 15 chapters total, so we'll see if we'll be able to wrap it up tonight. Thanks for stopping on by, checking out stream. Hope you're having a nice day. Don't worry, you two. We'll make the journey soon enough. For now, ThunderClan needs your strength and skill at the camp. I will remain here also. Firepaw looked past Lionheart to his leader. She was moving from one group of warriors to another, yelling instructions to each. Why had she chosen him for this journey, he wondered. She wants you to rest now, Lionheart continued. But first go to Spotleaf and collect the herbs you will need to have on this expedition. It's a long way. You will need something to give you strength and quell your appetite. There will be a little time for you to catch prey. Chi, welcome on in. Thanks for coming on into Momo's EDM stream. How are you doing tonight? We are reading and doing ASMR with the first book of Warriors, Into the Wild. We are nearing the end of the book here, so I'm excited to see what cliffhanger they leave us off on. Oh, Chi, thank you so much for the follow. Arigato. Thank you for the support. What is that? 466 followers. The blossom bud patch is growing here at the Cat Cafe. Thank you. Okay, so Lionheart says, but first go to Spotleaf and collect the herbs you will need on this expedition. Oh, wait, I read that one. My bad. Greypaw nodded, and Firepaw dragged his gaze away from Bluestar and nodded too. Where's Ravenpaw? Asked Lionheart. He's in his nest already, replied Firepaw. Good. Leave him to sleep. You can fetch herbs for him, yelled Lionheart. Rest well. You leave at dawn. Already? So soon? He flicked his tail and walked back to Bluestar's den. Well then, mused Sandpaw. You'd better go and see Spotleaf. Firepaw listened for sourness in her voice, but there was none. I read it like there was, though. There was no time for jealousy now. All the cats in the clan seemed to be united against the threat from Shadow Clan. Firepaw and Greypaw walked quickly towards Spotleaf's den. The fern tunnel was dark. Not even the full moon penetrated its thick covering. Spotleaf seemed to be expecting them as they emerged into their moonlit clearing.
I have come for some traveling herbs, she meowed. Yes, please, Firefly answered. And I think Yellowfang needs some more poppy seeds. She seemed to be feeling her wounds. I will take her some after you've gone, and your traveling herbs are ready. Sweatleaf indicated a pile of carefully made leaf wraps. Enough for the 3 of you. The dark green herb will stop your hunger pangs during the journey. The other will give you strength. Eat them both just before you leave. They're not as good as fresh prey, but the taste won't last long. Thanks, Bodyleaf, mewed Firepaw. He leaned down and picked up one of the parcels. As he bent his head, Spotted stretched down and gently rubbed his cheek with her nose. Firepaw breathed in her sweet, warm scent and purred his thanks. Greypaw picked up the other 2 and the friends headed and turned back through the tunnel. Good luck, Spotleaf called out after them. Travel safely. They arrived at the entrance to their den and dropped the bundles. Well, I just hope these herbs don't taste too revolting, muttered Greypaw.
Breezy boy, welcome on into the stream for the first time. Nice to meet ya, Momoko Sakurai. We're doing a reading, whispering ASMR stream. We're reading the first book of the Warrior series, Warrior Cats Into the Wild, and we're actually just wrapping up chapter 12. The next book will be chapter 13, and I'm pretty sure last time I checked there were 15 chapters in this book, so we might be able to finish it tonight. But yeah, feel free to cozy on up, get yourself a blankie, some snackies, and hope you enjoy almost near 18 of the story.
Oh yes, I totally read the other 11 chapters before. I mean,
well, just to get you caught up the pace that we are in the middle of reading the story. Just so you know.
It must be a long way to the Moonstone. We've never been given herbs before. Do you know where it is? Firepaw asked. Beyond clan territory, at the place called High Stones. It lies deep underground in a cave we call Mothermouth. Have you ever been there before? Firepaw was impressed that Greypaw knew so much about this mysterious place. No, but all apprentices have to make their journey there before they become warriors.
Sounds good, thank you, you're welcome. No problem.
The thought of becoming a warrior made Firepaw's eyes gleam with excitement, and he couldn't help standing a little taller. Don't get your hopes up. We still have to finish our training, Greypaw warned, as if reading his thoughts. Firepaw looked up through the canopy of leaves as at the stars glittering in the black sky above. Moonhigh had passed. We should get some sleep, he mewed. But he couldn't imagine being able to sleep with the thought of tomorrow's adventure spinning through his mind. Attending the gathering, the journey to the Moonstone, how far away did his kitty pet life seem now?
You watch the animated stuff on YouTube about this? Of course, of course. Oh wait, shoot, that was chapter 13? Shoot, I got sidetracked. I guess we're on 14. We're blowing through this so quickly, but yes, of course, of course. I was that type of Warrior Cats fan. I grew up watching, as a kitten, all the animated things. My favorite was from Jinja Ninja OWO, and I still watch her stuff to this day. Loki, thank you so much for the follow. Oh, come on in. What's the best chapter?
Oh geez.
I mean, maybe, I don't remember what chapter exactly, but definitely like, maybe at least, maybe it's around chapter 5 or so, but it's when Rusty, or Firepaw now, he finally joins, Blue Star, Lionheart, I think, what's his face, Storm, Wind, what's his face, I forget his name. There was a group of cats, plus Greypaw that showed up, and they were like, okay, do you want to go into the forest now? Are you going to join our clan? He's like, yeah, come join you guys. And then when he gets into the clan camp, he has to fight Longtail to like assert his dominance, to prove himself that he is worthy enough to be a forest cat, a warrior of ThunderClan nonetheless.
So just proving his worth, basically. That's a pretty notable scene in the story, I think. Plus, like in the original, like the first copies that they had sent out of the book, that was like the cover art of the book before like they started like updating the covers, doing like new art stuffs on it. I was just like, I guess this fire paws, the side of his face close up in the grass. But yeah, that's what it used to be. Who's your favorite character? It was always Spotted Leaf. I mentioned it a little bit ago, but yeah, I always really liked Spotted Leaf because I always thought she was so sweet and kind and caring. But I think who else? Yeah, I guess for now I would have to say Spotted Leaf. I also really like Cinderpelt though. She was cool too. Black Dragon Team 777, welcome on into this stream for the first time. It's nice to meet you. I'm Momoko Sakura, I chair boss and cat girl idol. We are reading through the first Warrior book. We just started chapter 14. Oh, thank you for the stars and the follow as well. Yarigato. But, Breezy, I assume if you're asking me these questions, maybe you are also familiar with the series. Who is your favorite warrior cat? I'm curious. And I guess maybe like the later books, there's like Jade Feather, Holly Leaf, the Lion Blaze. I remember because it's been a while. But definitely when Momo first started reading the series, I just had an immediate attachment to Spotted Leaf. Alright, chapter 14. Let me get a quick hydrate in. Okay. Chapter 14. Well, go on. Feel free to type in chat as I read. I'll be sure to read it once you send it. The cold air chilled Firepaw's bones as blackness wrapped itself around him. He could hear nothing, and his nostrils were filled with the musty scent of damp earth. Out of nowhere, a brilliant ball of light flared in front of him. Firepaw ducked his head down, screwing up his eyes against the glare. The light shone, dazzling coldly like a star. Then it blinked out, disappearing as quickly as it had come. The darkness fell away, and Firepaw found himself in the forest. He felt comforted by the familiar scents of the woods. He breathed in the moist green scents, and calmness flowed through his body. Without warning, a dreadful noise burst from the trees. Firepaw's fur bristled. It was the screeching of terrified cats racing out from the bushes up ahead. Firepaw recognized their ThunderClan pelts as they fled past him. He stood rooted to the spot, unable to move. Then came great cats, huge dark warriors, their eyes glittering cruelly. They thundered toward him, pounding the earth with massive paws, their claws unsheathed. And out of the shadows, Firepaw heard a high, desperate cry filled with grief and rage. Great Paw! I haven't seen too much, but I heard this really cool story about one where he challenged the leader with a bunch of lives, and it was really cool. Tiger Claw, I think. Oh, yeah. Literally hit him so hard. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Literally hit him so hard they took, all the 9 lives. Yeah, I think I want to say... no, wait, I was thinking about fire, when Firepaw becomes Fireheart. I think that's when he was Fireheart. He has a fight against Scourge. I was thinking about Scourge maybe, but Scourge isn't technically a clan leader. Let me see. But I recall that. What the heck was it? Man, I wish I knew. It sounds very familiar. I gotta look at this. Sorry, spoilers for our listening blush and buds who are not familiar with the series, but that's This gotta be somewhere. I totally didn't mean to fall. No, you're good, you're good. And whereas Tiger Claw is killed. Oh, oops. Okay, well, I'm not gonna say that. Huh? Wait. No, it's the other way around. Okay, so I guess, real quick spoilies. Cover your ears in 3, 2, 1. Blossom Bud. 3, 2, 1. So, I was like, yeah, I remember why it sounded so familiar, but it's all coming back to me now since I just looked this up. I think they challenged Blue Star. No, not Blue Star, I don't think. I mean, no, you're fine. So, I just looked it up here because I was like, wait, is that the right way? Was it Tiger Claw that did it? But here it is. So, it says in Warrior Cat's Tiger Star, because I'm pretty sure. Oh, yeah, 3, 2, 1, spoilers, Blossom Buds. Cover your ears if you don't want to hear it. But Tiger Claw, I think, becomes the leader of Shadow Clan at some point, and he becomes Tiger Star. And then it says that he is killed by Scourge, the leader of Blood Clan, with a single devastating blow that bypasses his 9 lives. Yeah. Yup, that was like a whoa. Hey, yo! Yeah! That's what I was. You kill him, Scourge. And like there was this whole debate online, like what collar he has, so sometimes people would just make his collar rainbow colored, but I always thought it was either red or purple. And then the claws on his collar were like, I think the teeth of dogs that he killed, which is so brutal. Just shows how edgy he is. He's like definitely the shadow, the hedgehog of this universe. Yeah, Scourge is the baddie. But also Tiger Star. Tiger Star was bad. He's done many bad things in his lifetime. He really deserved that. Yeah, Shadow Lord, Edgelord. So yeah, are you saying Scourge? Was Scourge one of your favorite characters then? He's pretty hardcore. Firepaw woke horrified. His dream vanished, leaving his ears ringing and his fur standing on end. As he opened his eyes, he saw the face of Tiger Claw peering into the den. Oh wait, okay, I don't know how else to tell my Blossom Buds 3, 2, 1. Okay, you can listen again. If you were listening to the first place. Sukifu, welcome on in for the first time. Nice to meet you. I'm Momoko Sakurai, Terra from Cacto Idol. Thanks for that. You're welcome, of course, PG. You're welcome. Yeah, Momo does not mind, because, again, I read this series up till, like, maybe the 3rd installment, because, like, each series that they have has, like, 5, 6, 7, I can't remember how many books. But I didn't get too far, but I did not care to spoil things for myself, because I was very deeply invested in the Warrior Cats community, so I watched, like, a lot of the animatics and, I'm not sure what else, like, just roleplay stuff on the websites. I knew a lot more. I haven't read it, but I knew a lot about what happened. Yeah, me too, Yes, Harley, I know you love Sonic and Shadow. Yeah, I think definitely Firepaw would be, well, Fireheart at that point when he meets Scourge. Fireheart would be the Sonic. Just the Scourge's shadow. Okay, so anyways, Tiger Claw's in the den. In the apprentice den. Firepaw leapt to his feet, instantly alert. Something wrong, Firepaw? Asked Tiger Claw. Just a dream, Firepaw mumbled. Tiger Claw gave him a curious look and growled, Wake the others, we leave shortly. Outside the den, the sky glowed with a new dawn. Dew sparkled on the ferns. It would be a warm day once the sun was up. The early morning dampness reminded Firepaw that the time of leaf fall was not far off. Firepaw, Greypaw, and Ravenpaw quickly gulped down the herbs that Spotted Leaf had given them. Tigerclaw and Bluestar sat watching them, ready to leave. The rest of the camp was still asleep. Ugh, complained Greypaw. I knew they'd be bitter. Ah, why couldn't we eat a fat, juicy mouse instead? Or put the medicine in the mouse and then eat it? These herbs will keep your hunger at bay longer, answered Bluestar, and they will make you strong. We have a long journey ahead of us. Have you eaten yours already? Firepaw asked. I cannot eat if I'm going to share dreams with StarClan at the Moonstone tonight, replied Bluestar. Firepaw felt his paws tingle when he heard these words. He was itching to begin the journey. With the dawn's light and the familiar voices, the terror of his dream had left him. All that remained was the memory of the brilliant light, and Bluestar's words sent a renewed thrill of excitement through him. The 5 cats made their way through the gorse tunnel and out of the camp. Lionheart was just returning with the patrol. Safe journey, he meowed. Bluestar nodded. I know I can trust you to keep the camp safe, she answered. Lionheart looked at Greypaw and dipped his head. Remember, he meowed. You are almost a warrior. Don't forget what I have taught you. I just remembered the name of the other cat I was trying to think of. That I was like, it's the white cat. I think it's Windstorm. Where the heck is he? What's that guy doing? Greypaw looked back at Lionheart with affection. I will always remember Lionheart, he yawned, nudging his head against the tabby's broad golden flank. I love the stoic voice. I try my best with some of these voices. There's a lot of cats to voice. Miguel, come on in. Glad to see you again. How's it going? I love your Chico your profile picture is so cute. I think Momo does not remember all of the Chihuahua character names, but I love that one in the toilet, so silly. You're welcome. Grandpa looked back at Lionheart with affection. Oh, we read that one. Anyways, they retraced their route to Four Trees. This was the quickest way to pass into WindClan territory. High stones lay beyond. Hey, hype has passed 1,000. Thank you so much for getting the hype up. As Firepaw bounded down the side of the glade toward the great rock, he could still smell the scents of last night's gathering. He followed the others through the grassy clearing and up the slope on the other side into WindClan territory. The bushy slope became steeper as they climbed and rockier until the cats had to leap from boulder to boulder up the side of a craggy cliff face. Hey! Hi! Hi, DJ, welcome. Wow, sir, it's Momo. It's the Momo. Hi, Momo. Hi. Here, come with Sonia. Hi, DJ. How are you? How was your day? How's your week been going? I hope it's been good. We're almost to the weekend. Yatta. K-Chan's here too. K-Chan. Welcome. Let me give you a shout out. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. What a pleasant surprise. Hi, Mom and darling. I hope you're doing well. I shall lurk and listen while I do some work. Oh, thank you so much, Yanigato, for the lurk. Good job. Always a pleasure to see ya. Yeah, it is story time. We're finishing reading the first book of Warriors, which is Into the Wild, around chapter 14. I thought we were like a chapter behind, but again, I'm pretty sure there's like 15 chapters in here, so we're nearly finished. And then the next time we have our cute little get-together for our book club, we'll maybe possibly start book 2. Yeah.
You're so welcome, Kei-chan. Hope you've been well since we last chatted with each other. Having, oh, very nice Korean barbecue. Almost jealous. Do you have any you could spare? Yeah, last time we had Korean barbecue, we did like some homemade stuff. We had got some of the meaty goods from a shop that we stopped by during our Valentine's Day road trip. It was so yummy. It was really good. You can really make it work. Hi, Gold. Welcome in. Are you streaming on Discord or just here? We're also live streaming on Twitch as well. Hey, oh, hi, Bookie. I saw you pop in, and then all of a sudden, so many Blossom Buds joined in. I had to go back and forth between each of the chat. But yes, if y'all want to check out Momo's stream on Twitch, we have some visuals. I have Shoost open, so we have some nice overlay scenes going on and some awesome camera angles. The Blossom Buds are in charge of it. And we also have some nice nature ambiance, so it's very relaxing. Yeah, welcome in every kitty. Pookie, are you done? Are you done with work? Are you on your way back? That means I gotta hurry up. I gotta quickly finish reading. Actually, it seems to go on for a little bit longer. Okay, wait, we're on page 101. We could look. I'm gonna scale forward here. Let's see, last few chapters are long. Chapter 15. Oh, shoot, no, it doesn't stop at 15, my bad. 16. 17. Oh, I was wrong. But this Google told me differently. 18. Okay, never mind. Okay, maybe not we will not finish. What's your favorite type of... Oh, cake? Good question. Momo really likes... I guess... cookie cakes are nice, especially if you get to, like, have a little side of ice cream with it. Yeah. That's super duper extra yummy. What's your favorite type of cake, huh? If there's a type of cookie dough cake, though, I would definitely say cookie dough also. Alright, so yeah, disregard everything I said before about there being 15 chapters. I was horribly mistaken. Maybe it's like 20... Maybe I was thinking 25 instead of 15. That's okay, we'll just have some extra bits to read next time we read, and then maybe next time for sure we'll wrap up the story. And I was mentioning the last time we had our long stream week that I'm thinking about like having like a regular gaming stream, and then maybe the next day after that we'll do ASMR. Switch back and forth between like gaming streams and ASMR, so definitely want to get back on the ball with these reading streams. Lazy Boy, thank you so much for the follow, arigato. Thank you so much for your continued support of Momo, and it really helps because we are working our way toward hitting 500 cafe customers here on Area. We are with your follow at 469. Yay! We're nearing closer and closer. Once we hit 500 Blossom Buds here on Area, we'll be having a community gaming day. So play games from like Repo to Pokemon Unite, maybe some Phasmo. Momo has lots of multiplayer games. I thought I heard Ed starting to open the door. Okay, we're good. Love your Steve voice. Oh, thank you, Arlie. Momo's happy that you like it. That's another reason why Momo enjoys reading and doing voice acting practice. It's a perfect opportunity. Okay, sorry, now I gotta find where I was. Oh, here, Firepaw paused when we reached the top. Ahead of them was the ground flattened out into a side or a wide plateau. The wind blew in a steady gust that rippled the grass and bent the trees. The soil was stony, and outcroppings of bare rock dotted the landscape here and there. Also, I'm gonna take a quick moment to
open up Twitch so I can start eyeballing who all is streaming. But we'll go back to reading. We're not. Maybe we wanna keep doing more ASMR stuff. So many awesome VTubers are live right now. There is Karawe! Oh my goodness, Karawe, she's playing Marvel Rivals. She's a Love-Chu alumni. Serto, one of my 1.0 model siblings, she's playing Fortnite. Calico Daya, she's doing ASMR. Some people will read into Daya. But also Puffy Wawa, she's tomorrow, I guess real fast while we're kinda just yapping in between reading the story. Tomorrow, y'all, I am gonna be joining the Gaming Girly Pops once again. So that's Rosa, Queen, Lily, I think might be able to make it, and of course there's Momo. And we have a new girly pop joining the group. It's Puffy Wawa, and she's working on some art right now. So maybe if she's still streaming by the time we're done, we can read into her and introduce ourselves. Anyhow, yeah. Just taking a look, getting a gauge on who all is streaming. We'll see. So, did I finish that? The soil was stony and outcroppings of bare rock dotted the landscape here and there. The air still carried the scents of WindClan, but they were stale. Much fresher and more alarming were the pungent markings of ShadowClan warriors. Oh, who's saying this? Oh, it's Blue Star. All clans are entitled to safe passage to the Moonstone, but Shadow clans seems to have no respect for the warrior code anymore, so be lit, warned Blue Star. Mustn't hunt outside our territory, though. We'll follow the warrior code, even if Shadow Clan doesn't. They set off across the plateau as the sun rose into the sky, following the tracks through the heather. Firepaw had grown used to living under a canopy of trees. Without their shade, his flame-colored pelt felt heavy and hot, and his back seemed to burn. He was thankful for the steady breeze blowing from the forest behind. Suddenly, Tiger Claw stopped dead. "Watch out," he hissed. "I smell a Shadow Clan patrol." Firepaw and the others lifted their noses, and sure enough, the scent of Shadow Clan warriors traveled on the wind. "And they are upwind. They won't know we are here if we keep moving," Blue Star meowed. "But we must hurry. If they move ahead, they'll detect us. It's not far to the edge of WindClan territory now." They moved on quickly, leaping over the rocks, pushing their way through the sweet-smelling heather. Every few steps, Firepaw sniffed the air and glanced over his shoulder, on the outlook for Shadow Clan patrol. But gradually, the odor grew fainter and fainter. They must have turned back, he thought with relief. MZ, we're going into the stream. Thanks so much for joining here. Hang out with Momo and the Blossom Buds again. How are you doing? You're reading through Warrior Cats, Book 1, Into the Wild. We're on chapter 50. Right? Yeah. Finally, they reached the edge of the uplands. The landscape changed dramatically, shaped and altered beyond recognition by Two Legs. Wide earth tracks crisscrossed green and gold meadows. Small woods dotted the land, and Two Legs' nests were scattered here and there among the fields. In the distance, Firepaw saw a familiar wide gray path, and an acid tang that stung his throat drifted on the breeze. "Is that a thunder path?" asked Greypaw. Or he asked Greypaw. That was Greypaw. "Doing good, and you? Oh, I'm doing good. Thank you for asking." It's always a good day when Momo gets to stream and be with her blossom bud. And yeah, Momo's happy to hear that. Glad you're having a good day. I know... Oh, goodness, how do I say your name? I know Apple Tree. What you got in your hands? Hi. It's, just my kitty paws. I can also wave them, yeah. Yummy.
Hi. It's just my Nyan pose. And also hold a teacup. I can hold my mascot, Bud, which is me, guys. Or I can also hold my tail. Like this. Exactly. Also have gaming controller. And heart fingies. Mwah. And also a microphone. For singing karaoke. Thought you might be smuggling some fruit snacks. I might be. I might just be. Oh, MVP and Kata for the follow as well. We are now at 470 Blossom Buds on Inyo. Nata. Yeah, thank you so much for your support and Zlat to Mama. Also, how should I call you by? Should I call you I? Ayo? You're so relaxing. I'm so glad to hear that. Definitely think being out here in the forest and the nature ambiance helps out a lot.
Yes, replied Grey Paw. It runs up from Shadow Clan territory. Can you see high stones behind it?
Firepaw looked at the distant horizon. The land rose sharply up to a point, jagged and barren.
Do we have to cross the Thunderpath then?
Yep, mewed Greypaw. His voice was strong and confident, almost cheerful, as he faced the difficult journey.
Come on,
Blue Star meowed. She bounded forward.
We can be there by moonrise as long as we keep up the pace.
Firepaw followed her with the others down the hill, away from the bleak hunting grounds of WindClan and into the lush Two-Lake territory. Keeping near the hedges, the cats walked on. Once or twice, Firepaw could smell prey scent from the bushes, but spotted these herbs had succeeded in taking the edge off his hunger. The sun was still hot on his back, even in the shadows of the hedgerows. Apple? Oh yeah, that's a lot easier for sure. Okay, I'll call you by Apple. So thanks for stopping on by Momo's stream, and Momo hopes you enjoy your time here. They skirted a two-lake nest. It stood on a wide expanse of hard stone, with smaller nests around the edges. Keeping low, the cats crept past the fence that surrounded the white stone. A sudden barrage of barking and snarling made them spin around. Dogs! Firepaw's heart missed a beat. He arched his back, fur bristling from nose to tail. Tiger Claw peered through the fence.
It's all right, they're tied up,
he hissed. Firepaw looked at the two dogs scrabbling on the stone, barely 10 tails away. They were nothing like the pampered pets that lived in the gardens of the Two-Lake place. These creatures stared at him with wild, killing eyes. They strained at their ties and reared up on their hind legs. They growled and barked, their lips drawn back to reveal huge teeth, until the shout of an unseen Two-Lake silenced them. The cats moved on. Phew! Oh, what a relief. That could have been a catastrophe. Okay. The sun was beginning to sink by the time they reached the Thunderpath. Blue Star signaled to them to stop and wait beneath a hedge. His eyes and throat stinging from the fumes, Firepaw watched as the great monsters flashed to and fro in front of him.
We'll go at one at a time, meowed Tiger Claw. Ravenpaw, you first.
The spray bottle? Why the spray bottle? What did Momo do, huh? Well, I guess. No! Even Momo took a cat bath before Paw. Alright, that's enough spray. Momo's not that stinky.
Oh, gosh, Ravenpaw's going first?
No, Tiger Claw, Blue Star interrupted. I shall go first. Don't forget, this will be the first time of crossing for the apprentices. Let them see how it is done.
Yeah, jeez. Let the big cats go first. Oh, Arlie, thank you for the head pats to follow up with the spray bottle. Thank ya.
Firepaw stared at its leader as she padded to the edge of the thunder path and looked up and down. She waited calmly as one monster after another flew past her, ruffling her fur. Then, when the ear-splitting war paused for a moment, she raced across the other side.
Dark Flame Shadow, and welcome on into the stream. How are you doing? We're reading Warrior Cat's book 1, Into the Wild, with an ASMR twist to it. Yes, whispering and voice acting. Yes, hello, nice to meet you. Good to see you.
Off you go, Ravenpaw. Now you've seen how it's done, yelled Tiger Claw.
Oh, Hamster Momo! Okay, I have to change back to my other hairstyle though, because it only works with this. Hopefully y'all will still be able to see Hamster Momo, because she's a bit tall. Sitting up on my head. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I'm Taro Momo. That's like the second time that she has been reading this week. She's so happy to be here. Firepaw saw Ravenpaw's eyes widen with fear. He knew just how his friend felt. Oh, thank you so much. It's John Marston. Arigato for the follow. Welcome on. Thank you. Oh, thank you for the stars, Darkly. Welcome in, John. Arigato for the follow. It really helps Momo as we are pushing for the big 2K. As you can see our follower goal widget there. We are at 1,952, so Momo's really hoping that this month will be the month that we hit 2K. So thank you so much for the support. Arigato. Let's see here. So yes, for those of you just joining, we are on chapter 15, right y'all? Chapter 15 of the first Warrior Cat's book. Ravenpaw saw Ravenpaw's eyes widen with fear. He knew just how his friend felt. He could smell his own fear scent. The small black cat crept forward to the edge of the road. It was quiet, but Ravenpaw hesitated.
Go,
hissed Tiger Claw from the hedge. Firepaw saw Ravenpaw's muscles tighten as he prepared to run. Then the ground began to tremble beneath his paws. A monster sped out of the distance and hurtled past. The black cat shrank back for a moment and pelted over to join Blue Star. A monster coming in the other direction threw dust up where his paws had just been a heartbeat before. Firepaw felt his fur shiver, and he took a deep breath to calm himself. Greypaw was lucky. A long lull let him cross safely. Then it was Firepaw's turn.
Go on then,
growled Tiger Claw. Firepaw looked from Tiger Claw to the thunder path, and then walked out from beneath the hedge. He waited at the edge as Blue Star had done. A monster was rushing toward him. Firepaw looked at the approaching monster. After this one, he thought, and waited for it to pass. Suddenly, his heart lurched as he realized the monster had veered off the thunder path and was bumping along the grass. What? It was heading straight for him. A two-leg was jeering from an opening in its side. Firepaw leaped backward, claws out, battered by the storm of wind from the two-leg monster as it roared past him, only a whisker away. He crouched, trembling in the dirt, and stared as it swerved back onto the thunder path. What the heck? Some of these crazy drivers. What are they thinking? And disappeared into the distance. Oh, phew, he's lucky. Through the roaring of the blood in his ears, Firepaw realized the thunder path was quiet again, and he raced across, running faster than he had ever done in his life. I thought you were fresh kill, cried Greypaw as Firepaw. Oh my goodness! Catania! Arigato for the raid! Welcome in, readers! Oh my gosh, what a pleasant surprise! Thank you so much for bringing your community on over this way, Katarina. Let me give you a shout out.
Let's see, what were you doing on your stream? Oh, you're playing Minecraft! Momo forgot to mention that she saw the Minecraft movie yesterday. It was actually pretty decent, but it was definitely like so bad that it was good. My only complaint is that they did not have the cats featured. Also 1 second. Sorry, we just my partner just got back home, so give me 1 second to shut the door. Alright, we were just waiting for my partner Ed to get back, and we were gonna call stream, but I'm gonna finish this chapter. Rudy! I closed the door and Rudy came back in here, you silly dog. Yes, hi, Katharina. Hope the reading is going well. Where is this sweet childhood? You also read Warriors and you're Warrior Cat's Girly Pop. Let's go! Yes. We did like 5 hours of your creative building. Nice too. Yeah. Oh gosh. Whenever. 1 sec, sorry. Rudy, stay out! Oh my god. Why does he keep coming back? Okay, 1 sec. Ruby, go out there. Okay. I shut the door this time. Because if I shut the door and Rudy's out there by himself, he gets all sad. You know that at his back. He can pester him all he wants. That's nice. Yeah, whenever I play Minecraft, I like to just have fun in creative mode too. That movie was so cute. Like, yeah, it's pretty decent. I love Blue Stars to have that book specifically. Oh, Blue Stars Prophecy. Momo has one too. And yeah, Momo wanted to do like a book club sort of thing with her community where we would start reading the Warrior Cats books because it's been so long now since Momo has read them, and I still have only read up to like maybe the 2nd or 3rd installment of the series, so there's so many books to read yet. So I thought it would be fun to read what other series than Warriors. Oh, I must get ramen now and I shall like and listen. Okay, yes, get your after stream snackies, enjoy, do your after stream care. And real quick though, for those of you that came in from Katarina's raid, it's nice to meet you. I'm Alika Sakurai. I'm a Cherry Blossom Cat Girl idol. I'm in the cat cafe here. Well, usually it's here, but we're in the forest bringing out to do this reading. But yeah, I run a cat cafe called Positively Perfection Pastries. And yeah, the next time we're there, please do feel free to order whatever your heart desires off of the yummy, delicious cafe menu. And I guess here too, we can make some accommodations despite us being in the forest. And yeah, so we're reading the first book of Warriors. We have a bit of an ASMR spin to it where Momo just whispers, and that's just really nice, relaxing, and calming with the forest background and the forest ambiance, the noises. In next stream, I'm gonna try to find a background with some water in it so we can have some river trickling noises. That's Momo's favorite. And yeah, listen to Momo practice her voice acting skills. Thank you again, Katarina, from the raid. And also, any of the peoples that came over from Katarina's raid, if you'd like to, you need to raid and dash. Momo totally understands. You need to take a moment to step away from stream to also get yourself an after stream snack, something to hydrate with, please do. Feel free to lurk if you'd like. If not, hopefully Momo will see you another time. I thought you were Fresh Kill, cried Grey Paw, as Firepaw cannoned into him, almost knocking him over. Also, let me set up the raid. Let me double check again. Let me refresh. Oh, no way! Daya actually raided, so we're gonna have to find some other kitty to send the love to. But again, y'all, we are gonna finish up this chapter and then we will raid. But I had to refresh and now double check who all is streaming now. Possibly maybe if
Where'd she go? One of the other girly pops working with now. She's not streaming no more. Oh no, she is. Puffy Wawa. Puffy Wawa. Right into her. Yeah. Doing art. Okay. Alright, just wanted to have that copy pasted already. Okay, back to the story. Me too, Firepaw gasped. He was trying to stop shaking. He turned back to watch Tiger Claw dart over the path toward them. 2 legs. Or who said that? 2 legs. He spat as he arrived at their side. Do you want to rest before we go on? Blue Star asked Firepaw. Firepaw looked up. The sun was low in the sky. No, he answered. I'm okay. But he had leaped so frantically out of the monster's way that his claws felt frayed and tender. Understandably so. The cats hurried on, with Blue Star in the lead. The earth was darker on this side of the thunder path, and the grass felt coarser underpaw. As they approached the foot of high stones, the grass gave way to bare, rocky soil, dotted with patches of heather. The land sloped up now, toward the sky. Craggy rocks topped the slope, blazing orange in the sun. Blue Star stopped once more. She chose a sun-warmed rock to sit on, flat and wide enough for all 5 cats to sit and rest side by side. Look, she meowed, tilting her nose toward the dark slope before them. Mother mouth.
Well, they're already there.
Firepaw peered upward. The glare of the setting sun blinded him, and the slope was engulfed in shadow. The cats waited in silence. Gradually, as the sun dropped down behind high stones, Firepaw began to make out the cave entrance, a square black hole that yawned darkly beneath the stone archway. We'll wait here until the moon is higher, meowed Blue Star. You should hunt if you are hungry, and then get some rest. Firepaw was pleased to have a chance to find good food. He was starving now. Greypaw clearly felt the same and leaped away into a clump of heather, following the prey scent that was thick in the air. Firepaw and Ravenpaw followed him. Tiger Claw set off in the opposite direction, but Blue Star remained where she was. She sat still and silent, gazing unblinkingly at Mother Mouth. The 3 apprentices gathered plenty of fresh kill. With Tiger Claw, they crouched on the stony hillside and feasted. But in spite of their easy hunt, no cat said much, and the air still felt thick with tension and anticipation. Afterward, the cats rested beside their leader until the warmth had seeped out of the rock on which they lay, and cold black shadows reached up on all sides. Only then did Blue Star call out, "Come, it is time."
Wow.
Okay, now we're on to chapter 15.
What a good spot to end, I think, Blossom Buds. Yeah, so that's a wrap on tonight's reading stream. Momo hopes that you all enjoyed Momo's narration and voice acting. As my Twitch buds can see, we already have set up the raid for... Oh.
And I raided my bad.
Okay, that's it, ball. Sayonara, everybody. Have a good night. Bye-bye. I clicked the raid button a little too early. Sayonara.